oh, sorry, I was disrupted by the sound of my voice coming from my cell because I'm a little control here. Yeah, we just discovered that what what's his face? Yeah, the Yatagarasu that the people claim to have found in Babao. Because this other shadow, it was the Yatagarasu. Apparently, it was this shadow was constructed by the culprit. We don't know who yet was the Yatagarasu, but somehow he managed to construct a shadow out of two statues that make it look like a bird. Like he used a man was stoning a superhero pose, like with a sword, and the hand of another statue put them together that made like a bird man. So, it's the Yatagarasu! Woo! Run for your lives! And yeah, in the panic, people hit the spotlight on the ground, and that made everything looks worse. And we also figured out like there was a secret entrance in the fireplace of Alabas, and since the office used to be one, and since that everything, the design of the building is symmetric, like all you find on the Alabas side can be found on the Babel side. So the hidden switch, the hidden rotating revolving wall inside of the fireplace on Alabas side, we were expecting to be there on Babel's side as well. As it turned out, we figured out that the fireplace indeed rotates, and the room next to the secretariat's room, Manny Cauchin's office, turns out to be Agent China's office. Like for the during the threat of the Yatagarasu sent a calling card, China was leading the investigation on the Babel side, and she made an office next to the one of the secretariat. That would make sense. But then, there's a murder, and right now, our most likely suspect would be China. For the murder of Marikochin, at least. We cannot pin her for the murder that happens in Alabast. But she's probably in on it. Like, we're pretty sure that this was part of the smuggling ring operation. If China's in on it, maybe she's a mole or a spy. Well, we'll see. So now, March 14, 11:33 p.m., Theatrum Neutralis, lobby. Alright, now, okay. Now we see Edgeworth and Kay in the lobby. And joining them was Agent Lang, China, and Ambassador Alba coming all together. And maybe some men in black, I'm not sure, but here we go. There's something on Agent Lang's face, like his sunglasses looks pretty weird. Like instead of the going behind his ears like a usual pair of glasses, they're going all over around, like it's making an X on his forehead. Like that's a weird way to build their glasses. So Edgeworth, Agent Long. Langshi says, little cubs never do. They know the real fury of the elder wolves. These quotes are definitely becoming increasingly difficult to decipher. And what does that mean?
It means that you'll never really know how angry I can get.
Takes out his glasses. Oh yeah! His glasses are shaped like an X. So instead of shaping, like he has 4 branches all around his ears and going on the back of his head. Like the glasses like surround his skull instead of just his ears in an X pattern.
Mr. Prosecutor, the counterfeit bills made with Bubbly's ink, they were all of Zheng Fa denominations.
Yes, so I heard from Miss Von Karma.
But we don't know where the play money has gone.
They must not have figured out what it was all burned yet. Oh yeah, Von Karma was there with them. Yeah, Von Karma came from Avas. I couldn't see like all of those 4 people came at the same time. So it was Agent Lang, Prosecutor Von Karma, Agent China, and Ambassador Alba. So they must not have figured out that it was all burned yet.
Ever since those things showed up in circulations, my country's economy is taking a bit hit. Zheng Fa is a financial chaos as we speak, because we can't tell the difference between our own bills and the fakes. But if it's not just the money, the citizens are also worried. I've staked the honor of the House of Lang on this, and I've come to this land to capture the mastermind behind this whole mess. I investigated how the bills were made and how the ink was smuggled into Zheng Fa. And I pursued the smuggling ring all the way here. But tonight, this is where the final chapter was written. Despite my frantic efforts to chase the smuggler down, someone got to him first. And now I'm called to return home without a single answer!
Agent Lang, aye!
Don't start. It's not your fault. It's not anyone's fault, Mr. Prosecutor. Ambassador Alba! I'm sorry for all the trouble tonight.
Oh, no, it is I you should apologize. It was all because I was not strong enough. If only I was able to think of a better solution. Quirkus, you fool! Curse your empty brain!
You're being too hard on yourself, Ambassador. I take full responsibility for tonight. End of story. China, let's go! Time to return to our den.
Yes. I don't like to admit it, but there's no much else for us to do but to go home as well. Agent Lang, a moment if you...
Hold it! You, Wolfman and the secretary lady, hold it! Objection, pal!
Detective Gumshoe, have you got the results of the handwriting analysis already?
Yep, and that note was definitely written by Mr. Cochin, sir.
Just as I thought. Good work, Detective. The Mask the Second's note data updated in my organizer.
Hey, Mr. Prosecutor, how long do you intend to hold us up for?
Sorry to have made you wait, but I believe that now everyone is finally here. Agent China, I'd like to ask you something if you don't mind. Yes? How exactly did you fail to see the Yatagarasu when you were in the neighboring room to where Mr. Togochan was killed? I'd like you to explain that to us.
What? Hey, Mr. Prosecutor, what are you doing asking her about something she doesn't see?
Agent Lang hasn't noticed the Babal investigation at all. He hasn't touched the investigation at all. So I suppose I will need to explain a few things to him first.
Miles Edgeworth? I can't even begin to imagine what's going on in that head of yours.
The only thing going on in my head is the pursuit of the truth.
Oh, it sounds like you have some sort of a plan. Very well. I'll supervise you until the end.
Sigh. Is she seriously going to treat me as a subordinate for the rest of the day?
You're not trying to pick a fight with my subordinates on some flimsy guess, are you?
I'm not trying to pick a fight, and the evidence is hardly flimsy, as you will see. They both take out their sunglasses at once.
Ha! I should have known that you and I are destined to fight it out to the very end.
It would appear that way.
Points the finger together.
Well, I'll prove her innocence, so let's see what you got, Prosecutor Edgeworth.
With pleasure. For my opening argument, I'll discuss the Yatagarasu that appear in Baba and establish exactly who it was that Kay saw. Agent Lang, I assume you've been briefed on Kay's testimony.
You mean the suspicious person in a coat that she saw?
That's right. That person is one of the keys to solving this case. The person who pretended to be the Yatagarasu.
Pretended? And what do you mean by that?
I'll get to that in a second. But first, I want to review what this person K saw did. K, if you could please explain what the person you were chasing did for us.
Okay, you got it. I first spotted the suspicious person near the open air stage of the Babel East side. I called out to the person, but as soon as I did, that person ran off. I thought it was rather suspicious, so I immediately gave chase.
For the sake of argument, let's call this suspicious person the Yatagarasu. Now, please tell us what happened when you chased the Yatagarasu up to the 3rd floor.
Can do. We see a map. We see a Y, a red Y. I chased the Yatagarasu all the way up to the 3rd floor of the Babalese embassy. Okay, so now we see the open. Okay, now we see a blueprint. We see the open air stage. We see the hallway, and on the top we see China's room, and on the bottom we see Manikochan's room. And in the middle there's a square and a circle. That's the fireplace that can be revolved. I chased the Yatagarasu all the way up to the 3rd floor of the Babalese embassy. And then you have a blue key appearing. It was a pretty straight chase down the hallway until the sudden turn. The Yatagarasu disappeared around the corner, so I did my best to catch up. When I turned the corner, I saw the Yatagarasu run into Mr. Koshin's office. I gave chase and ran into the room. But when I entered the room, it was pitch black. I couldn't see a thing. I felt something on the ground next to my foot, so I turned on the light, but then... Ah! Now we see the burnt room and the dead body with the knife next to it. Who's there? That's China. By the time I had turned on the lights, the Yatagarasu had disappeared.
When Kay entered the room, the person she was chasing was already gone. Why do you suppose that was, Agent Lang?
What do you mean, why do you suppose? Isn't it obvious? The person slipped out through the door behind the girl under the cover of darkness.
Sorry, but I know for a fact that the person didn't escape through that door.
Oh, and how do you know that with such certainty?
That's easy. If the Yatagarasu had left through the door, they would have run right into this person.
Do they mean China? Because China was right next.
Take that!
Yep.
Your answer is China?
Yes, because let's consider what would have happened if the Yatagarasu had used the door. When Kay screamed upon discovering Mr. Kochan's body, the Yatagarasu would have run right into Agent China, who was in the next room over.
Now we see a green S.
Arg!
Agent China, would you mind telling us if you saw the suspicious person in question?
Now, I didn't see anyone.
You see? Therefore, the Yatagarasu could not have...
It just means that the creep slipped out before China made it out into the hallway.
I doubt that, as there was another person in that hallway, a certain detective. Detective Gumshoe? Where were you exactly at the time?
Me, sir? Well, when I heard King scream,
Now we see a purple G.
I ran towards Mr. Caution's office from the opposite direction of Agent China, sir.
So he's coming from down in the corridor. So even if he passed by China and China didn't see him, Gumshoe was running right behind him, going to Cochin's room. So even if China missed Yatagarasu, she wouldn't have missed Gumshoe. But if she said no the first time, she's still gonna say no the second time. Why would she lie?
So, Agent Lang, can you explain how someone you could have eluded both of them? Even you must concede that under these circumstances, the door was not a viable route.
Yeah. Defense position. Kung Fu.
Way to go, Mr. Edgeworth! You nailed him with just an explanation of what happened!
Yes, I've eliminated one of the possible escape routes from that room. But this is far from over. I need to make Agent Lang aware as well of yet another possible escape route the Yatagarasu could have taken.
Lang ...
I get it. So that's what you were trying to show me. Hey, Mr. Prosecutor, let me guess. This is what you're trying to say, right? Because the door was not a viable escape route, then there must have been another way out.
Precisely.
Hey, Mr. Edgeworth! It's time to bust out with our revolving fireplace wall explanation, right?
No, not quite yet.
Huh? But why? I thought this would be the perfect time!
The revolving wall on Bobbly's side is known only to 4 people. And if we use this information unwisely, the truth may escape us in the end.
What's with all the whispering over there? Scared I'll figure out your tactics?
Nothing of the sort, Agent Long. Come, let's continue where we left off.
That smug, haughty attitude of yours, you really rub me the wrong way, you know that? Well, no matter. I figured out already anyway. The only possible escape route besides the door is the room-blown window. And since an eerie picture of said escape route exists, are you saying that this photo captures the moment of the Yatagarasu escape?
I guess Detective Bad must have filled in on this photo. I have to admit that at first I thought the window to be a possible escape route as well. However, I now know that to be impossible.
Now I realize you may not know this, but
Points fingers together with China.
humans can't fly!
Of course I know that! That's bloody common sense! Besides, I never said I thought that picture to be of the Yatagarasu's escape route.
I suppose not. Alright then, explain yourself.
The shadow in this photo is not the Yatagarasu that Kay was chasing after.
You can say whatever you like in whatever language you want. But there's only one language I really understand. The language of evidence.
Very well then. I present to you proof that the person Kay saw is not the same as the one on his photo.
Okay, let's see what I got. Fires in Babal. 2 fires broke out in Babal today. Touch the check button for details. Okay. Oh, The first fire at the Babalese embassy occurred during the Jamming Ninja show. The fire occurred on the 4th and 5th floors and took until the end of the show to put the fire out. The second fire at the Babalese embassy occurred after the Jamming Ninja show. The fire occurred on the 3rd floor and Mr. Cochin's office caught fire during this. Okay. So, there's wire, good length of wire that was found in Babal's grandfather clock. Is this what they want? Revolving fireplace? No, they said to keep the revolving fireplace. Ambassador Paulino testimony, spilled Babalese ink onto the back wall while burning files in the fireplace, left ashes, no. Fountain sprout, part of the rose garden, auto refills the water when the water level is too low, okay. Misused perfume that was suggested by Callisto U 7 years ago, okay, I've been safeguarding it, no. The pick found at the open air stage looks like a guitar pick, it's also wet for some reason. I'm gonna say the wire, but I'm not sure.
Take that!
This piece of evidence proved that the shadow in the photo is not the person Queso.
Oh, is that right? What do you think, little miss?
Well, Gummy, what you think?
Me? Miss Montgomery, what do you think, sir?
I don't think anything because I already know that evidence proves absolutely nothing!
Looks like you got a mutiny on your hands, prosecutor.
Arg! The last thing I needed was him laughing in my face. Okay. I need to think back to what Detective Bad told me about when this photo was taken. Okay, when was the photo taken? First taken after the first fire on the 4th and 5th floors has been taking place. The fire's in Babal. I'm gonna try that.
Take that!
Yes. Let me explain to you precisely why the shadow in this photo is not the Yatagarasu Keiso. Kei spotted the Yatagarasu heading for the 3rd floor during the 2nd fire. However, the photo in question was taken just after the first fire. Yeah, way to go! That's twice you've been in the butt now!
We're not done yet. You still have to explain what that shadow is. And how the Yatagarasu escaped. I don't suppose you can answer both, can you?
Regarding the photo, I admit that we don't understand what it means quite yet.
Ha! As I thought.
However, the Yatagarasu's escape route, now that I can answer.
You can? Well then, Mr. Prosecutor, go on, enlighten me.
Hold it!
Even if I explain it, you'll try to find some flaw with what I have to say. You were busy heading up the Alabastion investigation, correct? In that case, I doubt you have much knowledge about the Babalese side of the case. So wouldn't it be best if the lead on that side, Agent China, explained in my stead?
China is my subordinate. If I don't stick up for her, how can I look her in the eyes and call myself her boss?
China comes in, takes out her sunglasses. Lang, it's alright. I can take care of him.
China.
You've shielded me a lot as my boss, but it's time for me to prove my worth.
Alright, if you're okay with it, then you have my support.
Finally, it's down to just Agent China and myself. This is where the battle really begins. Now then, what is it you'd like to ask? Let's see. Why don't we start with your movements inside the Babalese embassy? Testimony, China's movements. During the first Babalese fire, I assisted in putting out the fire. During the second fire, I was searching for the Yatagarasu that appear in Babal. Now we see her from the bottom of the hallway and going all to her room. While I was searching, I heard a scream coming from the next room over. Although I was in the next room, I was unable to catch a glimpse of the Yatagarasu. To be honest, I'm actually very skeptical that the girl's Yatagarasu even exists. And that is all I have to say. But I'm not lying when I say I saw the suspicious person run into Mr. Cochin's office. Like I said earlier, I have no intention of retracting my testimony. Good.
Just to confirm, did you have a partner when you were on your investigation?
No, I moved alone.
In that case, you have no one to corroborate your alibi, is that correct?
Are you calling her suspicious because she was in a room by herself? How pathetic.
And it wasn't when Agent China tried to arrest Kay under the same rationale? ...
Lang is sweating.
Touché.
And how about when you accused Larry because he was the weapons owner?
Grrr.
Self-defense.
Not that it's unexpected for that useless lump to get into such a situation. Although I suppose it's never a good idea to let mistakes go uncorrected. I will make no excuse for what I did in that situation. Then you should apologize right now for making Kay out to be the killer, pal! I'm sorry. China, apologize.
China, long pause, then I'm sorry. It's really okay. I mean, I'm not under suspicion anymore. Right, Mr. Edgeworth?
Well, I never doubted you, not for 1 second.
And the same goes for me, I believe, in China.
Then let's put that to the test and see if she really was worthy of your trust.
This promises to be interesting. Rebuttal. China's movement. During the first Babalese fire, I assisted in putting out the fire.
So you helped with the fire extinguishing effort?
I was in charge of the police of the Babalese side, so I helped them with their work.
Police doing the job of firemen? You really know how to work people.
She sure does. That's because she's one awesome woman who knows how to manage.
I guess so. She's always bringing you to a business card or scroll at just the right time. Prepare everything before I'm ordered to. That is the definition of a secretary.
She kinda seems more capable than Agent Lang, doesn't she?
At the very least, she's certainly more capable than you, detective.
Oh! I kinda had a feeling you were going to say that, sir. China's more than just a capable secretary, you know. China, tell him what other things you're good at.
Alright. During the second fire, I was searching for the Yatagarasu that appear in Babao.
By the second fire, you mean the one that consumed the 3rd floor of Babal, correct?
Yes, that was when the suspicious person was spotted in Babao. Then you were after the same person in the Longcon that I was after. Hold it! There is no proof that the suspicious person was really the Yatagarasu, because no one was able to get a good look at the person's face.
By the way, how was your team investigation?
In order to extinguish the fire, water was pumped into the 3rd floor via the windows. So the majority of the investigators conducted their searches on their floors. Maybe
they did. But there was one person who was wandering around lost on the 3rd floor. Gumshoe.
When the fire was pretty much out, I moved to investigate the 3rd floor.
And you did that alone?
Yes. While I was searching, I heard a scream coming from the next room over.
So you were in the room next to Mr. Cochin's office?
I already told you I was earlier as I was examining the neighboring room. I heard that girl's shrill scream. Upon hearing her, I immediately ran towards Mr. Cochin's office.
Wherein you proceeded to arrest her, as I recall.
Yes, I did.
But she was totally innocent, pal. I thought we had already cleared that up.
Takes off long sunglasses, and I thought I had already apologized for my behavior. Now, if the tenacious detective would be so kind as to be quiet.
I have to agree, right now it's not the time to take issue with that, detective.
Not you too, Mr. Edgeworth.
But what I do take issue with is the fact that you didn't see the Yatagrasu, Asian China.
The prosecutors of this country are also strange. Although I was in the next room, I was able to catch a glimpse of the Yatagrasu.
You were unable to catch even a glimpse, despite being in the next room. Is that true?
I really hate to repeat myself.
I'm sorry for inconveniencing you. However, I simply wish to make sure that you are not misremembering something. We wouldn't want you to be accused of lying later on, would we?
Exclamation mark.
Hey, Mr. Prosecutor. Are you calling China's testimony a lie?
Agent Lang, I'm talking with Agent China right now. So I'd appreciate if you wouldn't interrupt us with superfluous comments.
Self-defense pose. Ah, you know, I feel kind of bad for him.
I understand his pain at watching one of his subordinates being accused. However, I cannot turn my eyes from the truth.
Lang, I'm alright. And as for you, I think you should be focusing your doubts on that girl rather than me.
And why is that?
To be honest, I'm actually pretty skeptical that the girl's Yatagarasu even exists.
Are you throwing Kay's words into doubt again?
Well, she does claim to be the Yatagarasu, right? And she did try to chase down the Yatagarasu despite being just an average citizen.
Actually, she came here with the goal of capturing the fake Yatagarasu.
That's right, which is why I would never lie about anything related to the Yatagarasu. And I suppose you have proof of that somewhere? Not quite, but even without any, I have people who believe in me and that's enough. I see.
Kay's testimony is without flaw, but as for yours, well, let's just say that I find your testimony to be a bit suspicious. ...
China.
There seems to be a very large flaw in the testimony.
How? Then why don't you just show her using what we found out with little teeth?
I will in due time. The escape route of the Yatagarasu that Kay was in pursuit of, if it turns out that it really does lead to Asian China, then what is it that is she keeping from us right now?
Okay. I'm gonna save here. During the first battle, I was playing on fire. The second fire was searching the other so that I couldn't the ball. We're searching. Although I was in the next room, I was unable to catch a glimpse of the Yatagarasu. But if we've proven that... Okay, I'm gonna use the revolving door. But I don't know where. I'm gonna try... I was unable to catch a glimpse of the Yatagarasu.
Objection!
Yeah. Hit on the spot.
Being in the room next to Mr. Cochin's office is the problem with your testimony.
Question mark.
Not so fast! Mr. Prosecutor, I don't see what problem you're talking about at all.
Agent Lang, do you recall the secret we discovered about the Alabastian office fireplace?
Huh? Oh, you mean how it connects the office with the new room next door? What about it?
Well, Alabast isn't the only country with secret connecting fireplaces.
What?
The fireplace in Mr. Cochin's office holds the exact same secret.
What?
The Yatagarasu didn't escape through the door to the room of the window, or the window. The escape route was through the revolving fireplace wall and into the next room over.
Ow!
She didn't say a word, but she got hit on her head, and her head tilted way back, and then she stood straight right up. Like she was flexible, like in limbo. Boom! She got hit on the forehead. Bong! Like a real bonk. Now, do you see? If the Yatagarasu had escaped into the next room, then the thief would have run straight into Agent China. Points finger, meaning that it's impossible for her to have missed the Yatagarasu.
Ah, yeah! What is the meaning of this, Miles?
Well, would you care to explain, Agent China? How you managed to completely miss the fleeing Yatagarasu? Sue? Or shall I? China ... You claim you were in the next room was a lie all along, wasn't it? The truth is, you were the one Kay saw in the coat. Pretending to be the Yatagarasu, and you were the one she chased after. As you tried to lose her, you ran into Mr. Cochin's office and headed for the fireplace. Then, you shed your coat in the next room, leaving in there to emerge as Agent China. After that, you came back around to place Kay under arrest. Does that sound about right? If not, then speak now or forever hold your peace. ...
How dare you make Kay look like the bad guy when you're the suspicious one, pal! ...
Oh! Oh! Oh my god! Is that what I think it is? Agent China is not Agent China. She's holding a laugh. If she's doing that smirk when she laughs, we have a confirmation. Exclamation mark.
China?
She's holding to laugh. She's holding a laugh. She's holding a laugh. Oh yes, it is. Oh yeah, that's face. That face. That's the very same face. That's Callisto U. China is Callisto U, everyone. That laugh. Yeah, we have a comparison with the Callisto U from...
I remember this irritating laugh! Brr, I'm getting chills down my spine!
It can't be, but it has to be.
China, what's wrong with you?
I'm sorry. It was so funny I couldn't help but laugh. Funny, you say? Yes, that you would accuse me of being the Yatagarasu. The prosecutor of this country really are so very strange.
Do you think you can get away with this by simply laughing it off?
You think I'm taking things too lightly? I think not. It's that prosecutor who is. ... Edgeworth. Look, everything you said earlier is nothing more than mere speculation. The Yatagarasu fled through the fireplace. Do you have any proof to back up your claim? If you don't, then you haven't proven a thing regarding the Yatagarasu escape route. The tone of voice you're taking with me now has certainly changed. That's because it's been a while since I've had this much fun. I think I'll let loose, and then we can have a real battle of wits. For an agent of Interpol to show me the true power of her mind, it is a great honor. Signature bow.
Don't underestimate me. I'm not some foolish broad, you know.
I know, and that is why I won't hold anything back either as I answer your question.
My question?
Here is your proof that the revolving door fireplace. Here's your proof that the revolving fireplace wall in the ball was used recently.
That would be wait, where is it? Yeah, Paulino's testimony. Paulino's testimony that says that he spilled Babbly's ink into the back wall while burning fire. He left some ashes. So this was used recently, because if it weren't, she would be covered with ashes and a bit of the ink, because Paulino didn't clear the fireplace at all when he burned the... I'm sorry, but this is really your honest answer to my question?
Yes. According to Ambassador Paulino's testimony, he said that he was burning some documents in the fireplace with Mr. Cochin.
Oh.
The ashes of what they burned were left in the fireplace, so they should have been there. However, when we went to investigate the room, the ashes weren't there.
Hold it! Why is that a problem? Maybe someone cleaned it up?
Objection!
Not. Unfortunately for you, Ambassador Paulino said that he forgot to. And so the question remains, why were the ashes missing? The answer is simple. When the Yatagrasu went through the fireplace wall, the ashes were pushed into the next room by the wall as well. The movement of the ashes that were in Mr. Cochin's office is my proof. And just what is so funny?
Ash as proof. Are you even allowed to submit such flaky evidence in court? You still wish to fight us? Of course, why wouldn't I?
In that case, let's hear your counter-argument.
My counter-argument, huh? This really is just like being in court.
Well, to me, we're simply continuing from where we left off all those years ago.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
It doesn't matter if we're at a crime scene or in court. Let's finish this here and now.
I suppose. I have a lot of fun today, but I grow weary of this game of cat and mouse. Exclamation mark. Let's make this the last testimony and wrap up this absurd case once and for all. Testimony. China's rebuttal. In my eyes, all you prove is that the rotating fireplace wall was used. But you can't really call that proof that the Yatagrasu used the fireplace, now can you? So then, who was it that used the rotating wall? Show me real answer with real evidence. Remember, we've already finished our very thorough investigation, and we found not a single suspicious thing in Mr. Cochin's office. And there you have it, my counter-argument.
Erg! That's very impressive. She has seen through the fact that I have yet to gather that one piece of evidence.
K ...
What is it, Kay? I haven't heard a peep out of you in quite a while now.
If you don't think you can handle it, feel free to leave the rest of it to us. But
Okay, pull yourself together. You are the true heir of the Yatagrasu name, are you not?
Exclamation mark.
If you want to steal the truth, then you must never take your eyes off of it. This chase you're running to catch the truth, you must see it through to the very end.
Mr. Edgeworth, you're right. I will see this through to the end. So, you go get her for me, Mr. Edgeworth.
With pleasure.
Looks like a lack of evidence has left you wide open, doesn't it?
China, please, Show me you're someone I can trust.
Don't worry, this will be the deciding match. You'll see.
I'm truly sorry, Agent Lang, but I simply can't allow her to escape me again. Very well then, Agent China, shall we begin?
I'm ready whenever you are. Rebuttal. In my eyes, all you've proved is that the rotating fireplace wall was used.
Hold it! Sounds to me like you're saying my explanation is not good enough.
But I was able to go through the revolving door myself. So that should be proof enough even for you, pal.
It looks like you don't quite understand. But by your looks, I can guess that you're not all that learned.
Ouch! Talk about rude. You show what you say, pal.
Sadly, I can't say I disagree with her on that one.
But you know what I mean, right? You may have proven that the fireplace was used, but you can't really call that proof that the Yatagarasu used the fireplace, now can you?
So you want proof that the Yatagarasu was the one who used the fireplace?
That's right. Well, do you have any? Hold it! Can you prove that it wasn't the Yatagarasu who used the fireplace? I don't need to prove anything to you. Objection then!
Okay, if you could please not steal my line.
Sorry, but I just couldn't hold it anymore.
Well, don't fret and leave her to me. All you have to do is sit back and watch.
You may seem to have some wiggle room, but without any evidence, it's meaningless. So then, who was it that used the rotating wall? Show me your answer with real evidence.
It's possible that the Yatagarasu left fingerprints inside the fireplace.
Hold it! Sorry, but I have the forensics team check that already. All they found were prints belonging to Ambassador Polino and Mr. Cochin.
Curses! I should have known better than to think the Yatagarasu would have been so careless. But there must be some sort of evidence that we still have yet to find.
I take it you have no further objections? Remember, we already finished our very thorough investigation.
So Interpol had finished examining the entire Babalese embassy?
Yes. The investigators who weren't allowed into Alabas were incredibly helpful. They all put in great efforts to search for any sign of the Yatagarasu.
Objection!
And yet, despite all that effort, it appears that they have failed to notice the lack of ash in the office fireplace. Furthermore, you were the one who inspected the room next to Mr. Cochin's, correct? I didn't notice the ash there in the fireplace of that room, and for that, I am sorry.
Hold it! You don't need to apologize, China, as your boss. Your mistakes are my mistakes. So allow me to apologize for you. I'm sorry.
You know, maybe this guy's not such a bad guy after all.
I apologize for these subordinates and everything. What a great boss!
Edgeworth ... Are you saying that I don't do anything for my own subordinates?
No, nothing of the sort, sir. You're someone I really respect, sir, even if you are a bit, too strict sometimes.
That is only a problem on your end.
Wow, way to be super hard on him in response.
Am I really too strict on everyone?
Anyway, China, you didn't find anything in Mr. Cochin's office, right?
That's right. We finished our investigation. And we found not a single suspicious thing in Mr. Cochin's office.
Hold it!
I'm gonna take a sip of water.
So you really didn't find anything?
Yes, as I said, not one suspicious thing. A exclamation mark. Although, as you already know, we did find the Yatagrasu's key and the document detailing the smuggling operation, but we still haven't found the blade that belongs to the Babalese knife handle yet.
Huh? You see, my subordinates worked hard to investigate everything, so there was nothing else to find, alright? Wow, Agent Lang's really stick up for his people! China, scroll.
Yes, sir.
Langji says all men are brothers and friends becomes family. So you see, my people are my family and their families are my family too.
That's a rather large family you have there!
Yes, but as we all know, there is always one black sheep in any family. And though it pains me, Agent Lang, you will know the black sheep in your family.
So, do you actually have any proof that the Yatagrasu used the fireplace passageway?
No, I haven't found any yet.
Then what are we going to do?
There is no need to worry, because there is a loophole in Miss Interpol's agent's argument we can exploit first. The one in charge of the Babalese investigation was not Agent Lang, which means that with Agent China's in charge, it's possible she may have tampered with the evidence. That piece of evidence that we found, if there is one thing I do know, it is that someone tried to hide it from us.
Okay. What pieces of evidence we need that we don't have? Let's check. I'm gonna save, that's for sure. The Alabastian knife was carried across country lines. This was the knife used to kill Maniko-chan, okay. The Pribidoc statue, it was a fake but was swapped with the real one, is originally from Ava. Okay. So the fake one burned, but the one with Maniko-chan's and fingerprints on it was the real one. Okay. Kodopian paper document related to the smuggling. The Babalese knife handle, swapped with the real water weapons, its blade has yet to be found. So Maniko-chan was already dead when the second fire happened, that's what it says. The bills. Samurai spear, the alabaster used to be real but has been swapped with the fake from Babal, was used as a weapon. The fake was used as a weapon? So the real one burned? Passion flowers, no. Mask the mask, no. Requested so handwriting matches that of Maniko-chan. The wire. Is it the wire? But it's not going to be presented here, not during the first sentence. I'm not going to present it here. In my eyes, all you prove is that rotating wall was used. Can't recall the proof that Yatagrasu used the fireplace now. So then who was it that used the rotating wall? Show me your answer with real evidence. What's the wire for?
Objection!
No.
Even you can't talk your way out of contradiction, this piece of evidence points out.
I guess not.
I knew it!
Because I don't need to talk my way out of it. What sort of... I don't like to waste time delving into subjects that don't warrant a need to.
Ugh, it appears I was mistaken.
Okay. I'm gonna say dollar bills maybe, because no, those were burned by many Koshin. That wouldn't be.
Objection!
Yeah. The blade. The blade was there and he took it. The blade is no, not the alabaster knife. The Babalese knife handle.
Objection!
No. There are signs that the revolving fireplace walls has been used.
Objection!
No. How about the silhouette lantern? Received from Gumshoe.
Objection!
No. Coachin? No. No, she was her, but we need to... The bottle of perfume?
Objection!
No. I'm gonna reread everything again. I'm stumped.
Hold it! Hold it! Hold it! Hold it!
The key? The key!
Objection!
No. think I'm gonna present everything. At this point, I'm gonna present everything. Because I'm stumped! No. 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 The Bills. Spear. No. The alabaster duck statue. No. The passion flowers. No. The mask, the second note. I don't think so, but no. The samurai dog. No. The lantern. The pick. The fountain spouts. No. Photo Viatagrasu. No. Fires. Doesn't make sense. Paulino's testimony. No. The wire again. I'm starting to think this is the wrong testimony too. Yeah. Wrong testimony. So. No. No. The Babal statue. No. Broken paper document. No. The Babalese night handle. No. Babalese ink. Something's wrong with my chat. Okay. The ink. No. The bills. No. Oh, that's Wait.
Hold it!
Really didn't find anything. Yes, as I said, no, a suspicious thing. You find the Yatagarasu key in the document detailing the smuggling operation. So we found the blade. Okay. The key was on Manicochin. Okay. Whoops. Here, something they should have found in this Mr. Cochin's office but didn't. The counterfeit bills?
Objection!
Yes! The counterfeit bills in Mr. Cochin's office. They couldn't find it. You didn't find anything suspicious at all? I highly doubt that. But I didn't. You can't even ask the other men. I don't need to, for I found what you should have a while ago. Okay, I remember that we discovered that we found the burning counterfeit bill, but yeah, even if it's burned, she didn't have time to burn all that. So I don't. Excuse me? Points finger. In Mr. Cochin's office, there were signs that someone had burned counterfeit bills there. Exclamation mark. What in the...
Aya!
Self-defense. Hold it! That evidence was something you found out that through that girl's machine, right? So what if it was? Ah, that's what I thought. But unfortunately for you, a recreation made by a machine is hardly concrete proof. Among the ashes you found in the room, did you happen to find any counterfeit bills? No. You see, so there was nothing in that office, nothing you can call evidence anyway.
Objection!
Speaking of things that you Interpol's agents have missed, I did find one more. Your pompous attitude is unnecessary. All I require is the evidence. Very well. I'll show her the hidden piece of evidence that her and a fellow Interpol agent missed. The wire. The wire in the grandfather clock.
Take that!
I'd like for you to take a look at this length of wire. And what exactly is this supposed to mean?
A length of wire. So what about it?
I'll tell you what. We found this in the Babalese embassy not long ago.
What?
And we found it wound up inside the grandfather clock in Mr. Cochin's office. You found that at the scene of the Mr. Cochin's murder? China ... So I think you'll agree now that I cannot trust you when you say that Interpol has thoroughly checked every room, and that this throws doubt on the purity of your investigation into the Yatagarasu. You still suspect me, I see. Alright then. I ask that you point out what part of my investigation is incomplete. The other Interpol agents worked under the command of Agent China, and it is not possible that the reason the person K was chasing chose the third floor. was because that person knew there would be no other agents on that floor. Furthermore, we've come to see that Agent China was only pretending to be investigating the Yatagarasu to the point of arresting Kay. In that case, there is one location that no one has yet to inspect.
China's room.
Your team's investigation was incomplete because they failed to inspect this location. The location, Agent China, is of course the room you claim to have examined. I believe the room next to Mr. Cochin's office warrants a thorough inspection.
Even if you do that, I doubt you find anything of use to you there.
I will be the one to decide that. Detective Gumshoe!
Yes, sir. I'm on it. I'll be right back after I check out that room next to the office.
And he left. Waiting. Hey, Mr. Edgeworth. Do you really think that Miss China's the Yatagarasu? Yes. If my logic is sound, I believe she is.
Then I'm not going to let her get away with running the name of the Yatagarasu. But can you prove she's the Yatagarasu is the question?
If Detective Gumshoe can find what I'm hoping you will find, then I should be able to.
And just what are you hoping to find?
Let's just say this. I had Detective Gumshoe do a little experiment for me earlier.
An experiment? As if that detective has the brains for high science.
It wasn't that mentally taxing. I had him use the same escape route as the Yatagarasu.
And what did you find out by doing that?
First, that it's possible for a person to fit through the revolving wall door. Second, that by going through there, his coat was covered in ash and bubbly zinc.
Who cares what his coat was covered in? It's not worth that much anyway.
But it is really worth so little. But is it really worth so little? I believe that is actually quite a meaningful result, the value of which I'm about to prove.
Mr. Edgeworth, I found some things you need to see, sir. You really need to see this.
Oh? So what are these things that you found?
Some makeup, a coat, and a pair of shoes, sir.
You found a coat? You hear that, Mr. Edgeworth? Maybe it's the one that the person I was chasing was wearing. Yes, the possibility does exist. Agent China, were these pieces of evidence not in that room where you examined it?
Unfortunately for you, those aren't suspicious items of any sort. They all belong to me. They were getting in the way, so I stored them in that room. Thank you for bringing them to me. It saves me a trip. May I have them back now?
These items that the detective brought back are incredibly significant. I request that we be allowed to examine them.
Hold it! They're my personal belongings, so you have no right to touch them without my permission.
I wish to examine them for the sake of the investigation. But if you wish to deny us access to them, Agent Lang, let's hear your opinion on this.
I say let them look at your stuff, China. Lang! China, let's put this all out in the open. If you're really innocent, then you have nothing to worry about, right? I guess so. Alright, go ahead and examine whatever you'd like. After all, I have nothing to hide.
Good. Now let us begin. So, which of Agent China's belongings are you going to examine?
So
Okay, so that was Gumshoe, but Gumshoe's face wasn't on the screen, so that's why I was doing Edgeworth. I thought he was thinking.
So, which of Agent China's belongings are you going to examine, sir?
I'm going to examine the coat. Let's examine the coat.
Yes, sir!
It appears you managed to stain your coat rather badly. Agent China. The Yatagarasu that Kay saw was wearing a coat. And I'm beginning to wonder if this stains wasn't created when you went through the fireplace.
No, you have it all wrong. That soot probably got on my coat when I was helping the police put out the fire.
And
what about this dark substance about the around the hem of your coat?
Oh! I didn't realize that the hem was that dirty. I'm sure it was just some water mixed with soot from where I was helping with the fire. I don't think so. You think we can get away with such a transparent lie?
Yeah, don't lie to us, pal! This is the same pattern of dirt that I got on my coat when I went through the fireplace.
Hold it! Your words ring hollow in the absence of evidence, you know. So unless you can prove that the dirt on my coat is from the fireplace...
Which I can.
What? How?
You did a great job, Detective Gumshoe.
Me, sir? What did I do?
This coat? This is exactly the piece of evidence I was searching for. I had been hoping to find the coat that the person Case saw was wearing, and thanks to you, we proved that going through the fireplace would sully a coat.
I don't quite get what you're saying, but I'm happy for the praise, sir.
All that remains is for us to show what the dark substance on the coat hem is.
Oh, and you think you can do that?
Of course I can. This is the dark substance that sullied the hem of this coat.
The Bobbley's ink.
Take that!
Bobbley's ink?
Yes. This is what will prove that the coat went through that fireplace. According to Ambassador Polino, he burned some files in the fireplace this morning.
You told us about that already, so I don't really see the point in mentioning it again.
My point is that he spilled some ink into the back wall of the fireplace at that time.
Ow!
If the dark substance on this coat turns out to be Bobbley's ink, it will prove that you and this coat went through the revolving fireplace wall.
Ah!
Sorry to have clipped one of your wings, Yatagarasu, but we're not finished yet.
But you have no way of proving whether or not this is the Bobbley's ink is on the coat. No. But you have no way of proving whether or not this is Bobbley's ink on the coat hem.
Oh, but I do, and I tend to show that it is ink in a few seconds.
How?
How, you ask? Well, since you don't seem to know, allow me to show you. This is how I will prove that the dark substance on the coat... Okay, this is how I will prove that the dark substance on the coat is Bobbley's ink.
We're gonna burn the coat.
We can find out whether that is Bobbley's ink or not by lighting it on fire.
The other option was touch the coat, wear the coat. That was, of course, it was burn the coat.
That's how you're going to prove that's Bobbley's ink?
Yes, if you could please cut a section of the dark stained area for me, I would appreciate it. Because I will show you here and now what the dark substance is.
China, sorry to do this, but I'm going to have to cut a bit of your coat.
Go ahead, I wasn't planning to wear it anymore anyway.
Now then, it's if someone could loan me a lighter or something.
Oh, I got some matches. I always carry them with me so I can light smoke bombs.
Then if I could please have one, okay? We can get this experiment underway.
And it's burning green. The flame!
The flame? It's the same color as the flames which crystal oil produce, which means...
Bobbley's ink is a product of wheat crystal oil. And when lit, the ink produces a green flame. ... I believe the time has come to clip the Yatagrasu's other wing.
Miss China, you're the fake Yatagarasu, the one who killed my father. ...
It's about time you came clean, Agent China, or should I say, Callisto you?
Hold it! Hey, Mr. Prosecutor! You're not serious, are you?
Do I look like a joking type to you?
Callisto, you? I never heard that name before in my life. That matter of speaking, And that attitude, you haven't changed a bit in 7 years!
You're the defense attorney that killed Mr. Faraday and then tried to frame me for it!
Oh, really? And you have proof? You insist that I am this Callisto you woman, but you can't prove it. If you have no proof, then I'm afraid you won't be able to lay a single finger on me.
The raven is a very unique bird, one that flies by the darkness of night. However, the light of dawn has arrived, and it will reveal your true, ugly form to the world.
Hold it! Enough poetry, I want to see some evidence. Do you really have something that can prove that she is Callisto you?
I do. It's something that the second Yatagarasu has preserved for us in these last 7 years.
Do me the honor, Mr. Edgeworth!
I will, Kay, for we have finally come to an end. We'll prove her to be Callisto you with this and clip this Yatagarasu's wing for good.
The perfume? How is that gonna prove anything? This was left behind by Callisto 7 years ago, but that doesn't mean that she's wearing it now.
Take that!
This perfume, this will prove you to be Callisto you.
It will?
Kay has preserved it perfectly for us. Surely remember this bottle? This belonged to Miss Yu just before she disappeared 7 years ago. Naturally, this means that a few of her fingerprints are on there as well.
This is that bottle of perfume you spilled, which I have preserved ever since. Exclamation mark. So if we compare China's fingerprints on Callisto on the perfume bottle, if there's a match, she's Callisto you. Okay. I heard from my father, Bern Faraday, that if stored under the right condition, a fingerprint can be preserved for decades. Which means that your fingerprints are still on there. Every last one. ... China's sweating.
We can clear everything up if we were to compare the prints on this to your own. Now come, Agent China. Will you submit yourself to a fingerprint test?
Exclamation part, Edgeworth. Maniacal laugh. Yeah, she's showing her fangs.
It looks like you've seen right through me yet again.
You're sending the biggest chill down my spine, Edgeworth. Callisto, you?
So you've shown your true face at last! This feeling of thrill, it's even greater than that time 7 years ago.
China, you're...
Lang, I really enjoyed our days together. You're an insanely strong, nice, kind-hearted idiot of a man.
So you were a spy all along? A mole sent by the smuggling ring I've been chasing after? Someone who has been feeding them intel on Interpol all this time?
Very good. Maybe you're not as big as an idiot as I thought. Callisto you, the woman who killed my father 7 years ago. You're her, aren't you? The fake Yatagarasu. That's right. Callisto you. That's just one of my many names. But even that is just a facade. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am the Great Thief, Yatagarasu.
Callisto you, this time you won't escape, for this is the end of the road for you. Now come along quietly.
You know, you're the one who left the strongest impression on me, K. Faraday. And had you not been used the Yatagarasu's gadget, I might have never known who you were. But here you are, being a thorn in my side, just like your father always was. Exclamation mark. Ugh!
Okay, don't.
She's about to punch him. To punch her. Oh, it's a raid! 11 people! Oh my god, you're here at the perfect time. We just found the real Yatagarasu. It turns out to be China, and that's not her real name. So, yeah. I'm gonna keep going. Ask questions away. I'll never forgive you for what you did to my father. You really are just like him. And for those who've been watching, when I do things like that, it's from another character. She's always have a burst of laughter like that. Mr. Faraday, too possessed, such laughable honesty. Oh, she's grabbing Kay, and now she's holding a gun and holding her hostage.
Kay!
China is holding Kay hostage. Yes, food awaits. Have a great, awesome, wonderful sleep. Thank you very much. I'm getting kind of hungry, but I'm not gonna finish this soon. Not at this point in the game. Have a good meal.
Ah! You let Kay go right now, pal!
You despicable! That's Francisca Von Karma. Let go of me, you filthy... Arr! You think I'm a fake, don't you? Well, unfortunately for you, I'm the real Yatagarasu. But that's impossible! My father was the one who created Little Thief! Hey, Edgeworth. Yatagarasu has 3 legs. Do you know why that is?
Why is that? Why it has 3 legs?
This is a flashback, Detective Bad. There are 3 main reasons why the Yatagarasu will always be one step ahead. First, the Yatagarasu always known the exact location of the target object. Second, the Yatagarasu always knows exactly how to disarm the security system.
No, it can't be.
Did you finally figure it out? Do you finally know the real identity of the Yatagarasu?
The real identity of the Yatagarasu is...
Burn Faraday, Callisto U, and neither. It's both of them.
The real identity of the Yatagarasu is neither Burn Faraday nor Callisto U. But by the same token, they are also both the real Yatagarasu.
Haha! How very perceptive of you. No way!
The single person known as the Great Thief Yatagarasu never existed.
Mr. Edgeworth! I refuse to believe this!
The Yatagarasu is known to have 3 special skills. Skill number 1. The Yatagarasu always knows the exact location of the target object. And a lawyer will have the opportunity to learn the layout of client corporations.
So we see the first leg, Callisto U, the lawyer.
Skill number 2. The Yatagarasu always knows exactly how to disarm the security system. And a good prosecutor would be well versed in the ways of a criminal.
Now we see a picture of Kay Faraday, Burn Faraday next to him. Kay's father.
And
Question mark. And skill number 3. The Yatagarasu doesn't leave a single shred of evidence behind ever. That's bad. Detective Bad just point China behind his back.
Detective Bad!
So, Detective Bad just point a gun behind China / Callisto's back. So, yeah. It was only natural for the Yatagarasu to never leave evidence behind. Because the lead detective on the case hid it all away. Oh, ta. So Detective Bad is Yatagarasu too? All 3 of them. It's a trifecta. Ta.
You're the 3rd member of the Yatagarasu?
You! Y-E-W. I've been looking for you for a long time. 7 long years, but I finally got you. Ha! Why, Mr. Bad? Long time no see. What happened to us? We used to be such a great team. If you were such a great team, then why did you kill my father 7 years ago? Why indeed? It was nothing personal, really. He was just another person I had to kill. How can you say that? I grow weary of this, and it's about time for everything to come to an end. And this time, I won't miss.
Stop!
You!
Kay!
Gunshot, fade to black.
It's over, China!
Your leg! Okay, I think Lang just got between Kay and China, but got shot in the leg. So Kay's leg is bleeding. Not Kay's leg. Agent Lang's leg is bleeding. Yeah, Lang just disarmed China and Bad shoot Lang in the leg.
Agent Lang!
You idiot! What were you thinking jumping in front of my gun like that? What are you risking your life for?
I'm sorry, Detective Bad, but no matter what sort of past she may have had, or even if she's a spy, it doesn't change the fact that she is my subordinate. As long as she is, I can't allow any harm to come to her, not even from you.
You really are an idiot, you know that?
That's fine with me. You should know by now that it is just who I am. Hey, sis!
Yes? This is Francesca von Karma. She called her sis because she's part of the investigation.
I want you to conduct a full body search. China might have another weapon on her.
Alright! Detective Gumshoe, your assistance, please?
Sir! Hey, I found something! What is this, sir? It looks like the blade of a knife, but it doesn't have an handle.
This is the alabaster. No. Yeah, this is the Bobbly's knife that has been missing. It has the butterfly pattern on the part of the blade that's hidden inside of the handle. Now we only have a blade. So there it is.
This is a great find, Detective.
Ah, it is, sir?
Let's try pairing up with the blade with this handle.
I'm gonna present the Bobbly's knife handle in my organizer. I'm gonna present.
Take that!
I believe this blade actually belongs with the handle that was on the murder weapon.
Hey, they fit together perfectly!
This blade must have been taken from the crime scene when the knife handles were switched.
I'm going to go return this bobby-leaf knife now.
Alright, I trust that you'll make sure that it's returned to Ambassador Polino.
Bobbly's knife handle given to Detective. Bobbly's knife handle given to Detective Gumshoe.
I believe this makes it perfectly clear who did it, Callisto you. For the only time the handles could have been switched is just after Mr. Cochin's murder.
Haha!
Which means that you must be Mr. Cochin's killer.
Flashback.
You killed Mr. Cochin with the alabastian knife. Switched the handles and then took the original blade of the Bobbly's knife with you. Later, you allow yourself to be spotted by Kay near the open-air stage. You used the fireplace to lose her, and then you went back to accuse her for the murder. Does that about sum it up?
Objection!
This is Callisto U's objection. Haha! You craft an engaging tale, Edgeworth, but there are two problems with it.
Problems? In what respect?
Why do you think my real reason wasn't allowing her to chase after me? Question mark from Edgeworth. It was also I could capture K. Faraday. What? When I saw you using that device at Gatewaterland, I knew right away that you were Bern Faraday's daughter. I became curious, so I researched a little into your background. That's how I found out that you were on the trail of the Yatagarasu. So that's why you tried to pin Mr. Cochin's murder on me. Yes, I knew you would show up at this embassy tonight. So I thought to use you, but pinning the murder on you wasn't my only goal. You had another? Yes. Once I had you under arrest, I had planned to search you and take back the device that rightfully belongs to me, the true Yatagarasu. You were going to take Little Thief away from me? 7 years ago, it was thanks to that device that Faraday was able to infiltrate this place. But he stole more than he should have. I had a tough time recovering that precious key.
Then the person who stole the Yatarasu's key was Mr. Faraday?
You! That incident 7 years ago, what was the catalyst behind it? In the eyes of the smuggling ring, the Yatagarasu was becoming a bit of a problem. It wasn't an especially pleasant assignment. K.
Then why? Why did you become a member of the Yatagarasu?
Why? There's no why. I was destined to betray everyone from the very beginning.
From the beginning? What is that supposed to mean?
The person I take orders from hasn't changed, even now to this day. Exclamation mark.
Does this mean that the leader of the smuggling ring wasn't Mr. Cochin? Then the real ringleader is still out there pulling the strings.
Are you done asking what you need to know? Because if so, we should probably get going. And you're going to tell me everything you did tonight. Do you understand, China?
I guess I should tell you then that I was the one who set the Babalese embassy on fire.
And why did you do that?
I suppose it was to destroy all evidence of the counterfeit bills.
That was what the smuggling rings was trying to do. But then why start two fires?
Sorry, but I can't tell you anything about the ring. It's your job to complete your investigation after all. I've had my fun. Now it's your turn to enjoy the ride. Wait! I mean, China. Yes. When I fell to the floor earlier, these fell at my feet. Some sort of needles to put on someone's hair, like Japanese comb. What about them? They're such pretty hair sticks that I thought, well, I should return them to you. Ha ha ha. You can have them. They're of no use to me anymore. If you don't want them, you can just always throw them away.
No.
I want to keep them. Suit yourself. Oh, that's right. I almost forgot, Edgeworth. About the second problem I had with your story. I didn't kill anyone tonight.
What?
I'm not saying that as a sore loser. Think of it as a hint, if you will.
Mr. Prosecutor!
Yes, Agent Lang?
Mark my words, I'm not done here and I'll be back. And it's got nothing to do with duty or anything because this has become my personal case. I may have been shot, but I'll show you just how dangerous a wounded wolf can be.
His anger appears to have negated the sensation of pain in his injured leg.
They're walking away and then out.
It's finally over, Kay.
I feel like I've peered into her heart a little, you know? And it's so cold and dark. and incredibly lonely. The person who was giving her all these commands, the one who thought my father was a problem to be removed.
That person is the real ringleader behind the smuggling ring.
Mr. Edgeworth, I have a favor to ask. Can you hold onto these hair sticks for me? They're really pretty, just like the ones they were selling for the Jamming Ninja show. But until the case is over, I don't think I can look at them without being overcome.
I understand. I'll take good care of them for you. There is a bit of soil stuck on the end of these sticks.
Hair sticks data jotted down in my organizer.
Ow! I guess it's that time already, huh?
So it's midnight, the dawn of another day.
Hey, Pops, thanks a bunch. You've really done a lot of it for everyone all these years.
Detective Bad, don't tell me today's the day.
Yeah, it is. With this, I can retire in peace. It was down to the wire and we almost didn't make it. But we did it. We solved everything.
But that's just it. We haven't solved everything yet. The ringleader of the smuggling ring, you, the Yatagrasu was chasing after.
The legend of that Yatagrasu is now over. Mr. Edgeworth, that bit of logic earlier, it was brilliant. ... Edgeworth. I feel like I can leave it all in your hands. I'm counting on you. Is it really true, Uncle Bad? Were you also part of the Yatagrasu? As I said to you earlier, Kay, I'm truly sorry. I wanted nothing but a peaceful life for you. Uncle Bad!
Hey, don't take it so seriously. It's all just a one big joke, right?
Unfortunately, it isn't.
Oh, come on, sir. She's just yanking on my chain, isn't she, Mr. Edgeworth?
Detective Bad. Wait, no, you are no longer a detective. Mr. Bad, I'd like to ask you about the Yatagrasu.
Not you too, Mr. Edgeworth!
Mr. Edgeworth, here, I should give these back to you.
These are
Papers for the KG8 incident. Was that the guy who raided Mr. Edgeworth's office?
the pages from my KG8 case files that the Yatagrasu stole from my office.
Huh? Wait, what?
Lollipop. Mr. Edgeworth, I must apologize for last night. That was a scene when Edgeworth was being held at gunshot in the dark in his office.
So the Yatagrasu who stole into my room was you, was it?
Wait, then that means what? Tell me it's not true. That's too insane for me to believe, sir.
It's true, even if it's not something you want to hear. The KG8 incident. It was a very emotional, trying case. We stood in that courtroom, Faraday as the prosecutor and I as the lead detective. Faraday had evidence in his possession that would prove the defendant guilty. However, because it was stolen, the defendant was found innocent. You was the elder sister of the victim in the case. When the defendant was pronounced not guilty, she let out a great wail. That's when we realized that there was a limit to what the law could do. The only way to bring someone like that to justice was to do so outside of the courts. That's what we thought at the time. That's how we formed the Yatagrasu. We set pictures of all three of them all together with their backs against each other, like a big trinity with Bad in the middle, looking in the back, and vowed to bring to light any dirty dealings companies that had with the ring, including companies that dealt with the Amano Group,
Mr. Amano's conglomerate?
We called ourselves the Yatagrasu and flexed our collective muscles. We exposed all sort of shady dealings as a warning to the business world as a whole. By doing that, we were able to stop the higher-ups from covering things up. And then, it was finally time. We had finally arrived at the moment when we'd find out the ringleader's true identity. It was then that you literally stabbed us in the heart, and Faraday, well, he died for it. Edgeworth, ... But why? Wasn't she the sister of the victim in the KG8 incident? After Faraday's death, I looked into her past, and that's when I found out, Mirror, that she was a phony. The victim of the KG8 incident, CCU, back in the pocket, she never had a sister.
What? That means?
Lollipop. China wasn't the only fake name she used. Callisto U was also another pseudonym. From the very beginning, that woman was a spy sent by the smuggling ring.
She said it herself. I was destined to betray everyone from the very beginning.
Anyway, let's return to the real topic at hand. Mr. Edgeworth, this trump card that we stuck into this page of the case file, please use it wisely.
Trump card?
That photo that we stuck on there, try peeling it off. Behind it slumbers a piece of evidence that Faraday hid away all those years ago.
It's the mark of the Yatagarasu, but why?
It's the black calling card with the white raven. This is a directives card from the big boss. Take a look at the back. This was something Cochin had on him at the time of the KG8 incident 10 years ago. There's some coded message, and there's a blood stain on one corner of it. It's in the back of the calling card. I can't tell the words. I think it's Codopian or something like that. That blood is from the victim of the incident, Miss CCU.
But why is the card adorned with the mark of the Yatagarasu?
The reason why we call ourselves the Yatagarasu was because of the three-legged raven mark that the smuggling ring's boss used. Oh? The smuggling ring's boss is using the white cards, no? They're using a three-legged raven mark as well. It's a copy. Okay. Apparently, orders from the boss would come on these cards without fail. The person who received the order was supposed to burn it immediately after reading it. And apparently, it burns a bright green flame when set ablaze.
So you mean the cards were written in Babbly's ink?
The fact that the cards that Cochin was sent made it into Faraday's hands at all is nothing short of a miracle. We decided that whenever we stole anything, we would send a card along with it to the police.
So that's what those white cards are!
Okay. The black cards are used by the smuggling ring, and the white cards are used by the Yatagarasu. And Cochin kept his calling card, and he didn't burn it. But why did we receive one of those cards in Edgeworth's office? The great thief that used the mark that only those within the ring would know. It was our message to the ringleader that we were only a few steps behind. Trump card data jotted down in my organizer. And one more thing, Detective Gumshoe. Lollipop. I'm entrusting this to you.
What is it, sir?
This is what I was talking about earlier. During the KG8 incident trial, Faraday had this in his possession. This important, definitive piece of evidence.
But I thought it was stolen. How do you have it?
The person who stole it from us 10 years ago was a man by the name of Ernest Amano. And he had it locked and hidden away for all this time. But we forced him to tell us where it was finally, after the other day's kidnapping case at the amusement park. Videotape data jotted down in my organizer.
This video.
This is a flashback with Jacques Portsman.
Whoa! Don't come any closer! I'm warning you!
This is the same video as the one Mr. Portsman was trying to conceal from me.
Lollipop? Yeah, it would seem that even he was caught up in the ring's web. Amano was preparing to take on the boss someday, and the video was his insurance. That's where that prosecutor comes in. He was to retrieve the video. On top of that, he was apparently instructed to sneak into your office and steal the trump card. Lollipop? You saw it for yourself, right? The card that told him to preserve the evidence?
Then that card was not the calling card of the Yatagarasu, but rather a directives card from the ringleader to Mr. Portsman?
The two pieces together make a strong weapon for whoever holds them.
The evidence Mr. Portsman thought to withhold from me, and the one that you stole from my office last night. Both pieces are illegal, and for me to use either one is...
Whether you use them or not is up to you. But they will be of help to you when you take on someone who is above the law.
Is the boss of one of those who cannot be brought to court that Mr. Faraday spoke of? Detective Bad, there is no limit to the law, for it is the people who determine the limits to them.
You still insist that, even now, you really are something else. I leave the rest in your hands, Lollipop. Now then, Detective Gumshoe, the handcuffs. It's time to lock up the last remaining member of the Yatagarasu.
Pops!
Don't ever lose your detective spirit.
Pops! Why is this happening? This isn't justice!
Like I always told you, do not get emotionally involved. Now, let's go.
Yes, sir!
And they leave. Now there's Francisca and Kay still looking downwards at her feet.
Is this really the end of a legend?
To be continued! That looked like the end of the case, but there's still more to be continued. We're gonna save, that's for sure. Yeah, we're gonna continue on a bit. Yeah, of course, we're gonna continue. I still got some time, and I hope you're enjoying so far, even though there's not much going on in the chat. I enjoyed even the lurking. Whatever you write down, I appreciate every last bit. I still appreciate you guys for the raid. This is the second time I've been raided ever since I beginning streaming. And last time was still Super Blind Man 2. So, yeah, we're gonna continue. We're gonna save the game. We're gonna with yet another leg of Chapter 5. So now Gumshoe is back. We're back at the Theatrum Neutralis, March 15, 12:07 a.m. Lobby.
So now we know who the Yatagarasu really was. And yet, there remains much to this case that needs to be resolved.
Like how the weapon crossed country lines, for example. The two countries have incredibly strict security systems and entry procedures. Short of a miracle if it's impossible for someone to have smuggled them in.
Smuggle them in? We will need to open a new line of investigation on just this aspect alone. But before we do, I would like to go through my evidence once more.
Unnecessary evidence has been removed. Remaining evidence has been rearranged.
Hey! There's a VCR here, sir! Now we can see what's on that tape Detective Bad gave us.
This piece of evidence from the KG incident, hidden from sight for 10 long years. I just know that this is related to the current case somehow. Detective Gumshoe, if you would please play the tape for us.
Before that, I'm gonna check the organizer, see what's gone. Yeah, the blade is gone. The handle is gone. The keys here. The alabaster knife that killed Mr. Koshin is still here. The Bible statue is still here. The document regarding the smuggling ring is here. The samurai spear is still there. The alabaster statue, the passion flowers, the mask note, the samurai dogs, the pick, the fountain sprouts, the photo of the Yakturasu, the fires in Babal, the wires, the revolving firewall. Okay, so yeah, we have hair sticks with a candy strap pattern on them. There's some sort of dirt on the tips. Yes, I can examine that too. I'm gonna examine that right away. Hey, take a look at this, Mr. Edgeworth. There's dirt on here. It's totally ruining the beauty of the hair stick.
I suppose. Why is there dirt stuck on the end of a hair stick in the first place?
They're planted on the ground? Why would that be planted on the ground? Is there something else? I'm gonna examine the top.
The design of these things are rather eccentric for hair sticks.
Huh? Really? Well, if they're that strange, why should I do with them?
I have to say, these are by far the most bizarre hair sticks I've ever seen. In any case, Kay, there's something I've been meaning to ask. How exactly do you stick that hair stick of yours into your hair like that?
Exclamation mark. That's a secret!
Curious, sir, and curious, sir.
Is there anything else? I'm gonna turn this around. No. That's it. Then we have the trump card. Evidence from KG8 card containing orders from boss of smuggling ring to Cochin. Yeah, it's the picture of yeah, it's in the foreign language and there's a speck of blood. A videotape. Evidence from KG8. Faraday has obtained it, but Ernest Amado had it stolen 10 years ago. There's still blood on it. Alright, we're gonna check this out. So we lost 5 evidence, but we gained 3. And I cannot tell what is gone. The lamp. The lantern is gone. The Babalese ink is gone. Counterfeit bills are still there. Polino's testimony. Oh. Okay.
Sure thing, sir. Playing the tape right now. Rewind. Play.
This man, it's Manny Cochin.
He seems to be holding 2 things. The calling card on his right hand and some sort of a knife on his left. He's leaving some sort of parking. I can't tell the buildings apart. That's weird. Must be the embassy. And he's holding a knife in his hand.
This looks like footage from a security camera at the entrance of an apartment building.
An apartment building? How do you figure that?
Unlike you, I've actually read the summary file on the KG8 incident. And the crime scene was the victim's own apartment.
So this footage was shot at the entrance of the victim's own apartment building.
At the trial, Mr. Faraday claimed that this piece of footage existed.
However, no one could find it.
Yes, somehow, someone was able to steal it and hide it through Mr. Ernest Amano.
I can see how this would have been a definitive piece and why someone would want to hide it.
But it's a piece of evidence from a 10-year-old case. There's no way it's related to this case we're working on, sir.
Actually, I believe it has everything to do with the case we're working on now. The ringleader even went so far as to use Mr. Portsman to retrieve it. Which means that this video lies a very inconvenient bit of footage to the ringleader.
Where?
Wait! What was that?
Huh?
That bit you played just now. Please show it to me again. We see a car. There's someone in the car. This car! This is something we cannot overlook.
Oh, it has a flag on near the front lights. It looks like it's Godobian. So this is a Godobian embassy card. Why is that, sir?
Look here, Detective Gumshoe.
We check the flag, present.
Take that!
This is the national flag of the Principality of Codopia. And because it has the national flag on it, we know this is to be an official government car. But the question we should be asking ourselves is, what was a government car doing there?
Oh, now we see Governor Alba coming from this side of the border.
Ah, Miss Von Carmine, Mr. Edgeworth. So you were here all this time?
Walking slowly with a guard next to him, slowly walking with a cane.
Ambassador Alba!
Thank you very much for continuing the investigation, even at this time of night. Oh, if only I was even a tiny bit more careful. This tragedy would never have happened. I am truly sorry.
This wasn't your fault, sir. This has nothing to do with how careful you were.
You idiot, Corcus! You should have chased after a simple thief. You couldn't even chase over a simple... Now then, let's get down to the real reason why I came looking for the two of you. I would like you to put the investigation on hold for a while. Can you do that?
Excuse me?
I heard about you have apprehended the thief that turned this embassy upside down. And we are in the middle of an event celebrating our country's reconciliation. We can't exactly have the police and detectives walking around here forever. You're scaring the visitors away. So I hope that you can understand how I feel.
But we must finish our investigation and resolve the remaining issues.
Why don't we leave the rest to the Albastion and Babalis police?
Ambassador! We are so close! Just a little more and...
Miss Von Karma, I'm afraid I've made up my mind.
This is suspicious indeed. I'll go and take a sip.
And without my permission, you can't proceed with your investigation anyway, right?
That's true, however...
As he said at the very beginning, this area can be considered to be Alabastian soil, in which case we are nothing but foreigners in their land. Is this really where this investigation ends?
Hold it! Shifu! We found Mr. Edgeworth, sir!
Shifu, this way!
You!
Agent Lang, you're back on the scene rather quickly.
If I laid back and took a break, I'd lose the scent of my prey, Mr. Prosecutor.
Agent Lang, why have you returned?
Because I have to solve this case no matter what.
Well, I'm sorry to inform you. And don't take this the wrong way. I don't suspect you personally. However, a member of the Interpol was just found to be a thief, and so... Under these circumstances, I wish to put your investigation on hold. After all, I believe our own police can handle things from here. They are quite capable. ...
Lang.
At this rate, our investigation really will come to a close.
Not so fast!
Ambassador Alba, I get it now. I really do.
Oh, I'm really glad you understand how I feel.
No, not that. What I was talking about is...
Point fingers!
I know who the killer is behind tonight's murder.
You!
No!
That...
Killer!
Do you really mean that, Agent Lang?
Wolves don't lie.
Then who is it?
Well, let me first say that I'm not talking about Mr. Cochin's murder. That was all China.
Exclamation mark from Edgeworth. Because even she claimed that she was the real Ryatagarasu. She set the fires, but she did not kill Manny Cochin. That's strange.
Langji says the truth lies not at the exit, but rather shines outside the maze itself. The truth is unexpectedly simple. So let me ask you this. Who do you think was the Mask the Second's killer? I'll tell you. Who?
Points the finger.
It was you, Francisca Von Karma!
What? She's holding her whip. I was the killer? Hey, wait! But that's impossible!
Yeah! Although that whip is actually quite, yow!
Hold your tongue and that ludicrous remark you were about to make!
Agent Lang, are you seriously accusing her of murder? ...
Yeah, I am.
It doesn't appear to be joking.
Hey, sis. I remember that just before Ambassador Alba went to give a speech, he called you into his office, right?
Yes, he did! But what does that have to do with anything?
I'm getting to that. Furthermore, in order to solve both cases, you moved around rather freely between Alabasta and Babal, did you not?
Objection!
And where is your evidence that I am the killer?
Not so fast!
I was just getting to that. Trust me, I'll show them to you in due time. Ambassador Alba, in order for me to bring this case to a close, I'll need to inspect your office one more time. Will you grant me permission?
With things as they are, I suppose I don't have much of a choice, do I?
Good. Then let's move out! Oh, and don't even think about running away, sis. My pack will be keeping a close eye on you. You can bet your bottom dollar on that.
As if you had any reason to flee. But just so we're clear, your logic had better be sound. Because I'll accept nothing short of a perfect explanation.
She seems rather upset. Not that I blame her.
I expected that you would accept no less. But we'll see how long you can keep that nose of yours stuck in the air like that.
Arg!
Hold it!
Agent Lang, as someone related to tonight's case, I request that you allow me to take part.
and so that I may clean up my superior's mess. Exclamation mark from Francesca.
I guess I should. The more the merrier, especially when it's the peanut gallery.
Oh! In that case, I want to join in too! I still haven't seen what it looks like in Alabasta yet.
If you let me in, then you're gonna let me in too, pal! I can't sit around and do nothing when Miss Von Karma's in trouble.
Hey, Gummy! Let's have a competition to see who can save her first, okay?
Okay, I'll take you up on that. Oh yeah, I'm fired up and ready to go.
As a detective, I don't believe this is something you're supposed to be excited over.
Sounds like this is going to be real interesting. Ambassador Alba, I'll be bringing these kids along for the ride.
Very well. But I'd like you to keep in mind that this will be your last chance.
I'll have this whole mess cleaned up before you know it. Now, let's go!
And they all walk into Alabasta. Yep, they all walk into Alabasta. March 15, 12:53 a.m. Alabastian Embassy, Ambassador's Office. All of them is surrounded, all circled around the white circling of the body, made in tape or chalk. It's on the carpet. We see in the back the two Alabastian flag. We see the revolving fan. We see the motif, the flower of Alabasta, which is the logo of the country. We see the fireplace. We see nothing interesting. We see Alabastian knife. And that's pretty much it. Action.
Okay, now let's first go over the facts one more time. Manikochan's body was found over the secretary's office in Babal. The weapon that took his life was one of Alabasta ornamental knives. And then the body of the masked second, Monsieur Cashino, was found here in the Alabastian ambassador's office. Through our investigation, we found that the murder weapon was the Primidoc statue, and that this is actually Babal's statue. This case, no matter how I look at it, sis, if it wasn't you, then there's no one else who could have pulled this off.
Objection!
Agent Lang, do you understand the full implication of what you're saying?
Of course I do, sis, and I'm serious. You were on the trail of the smuggling ring and you wanted any evidence you could find. And so while people were distracted by the Atagrassu's appearance, you snuck in here. That's when you two ran into each other. You and that other thief took advantage of the confusion from the fire.
Objection!
Even if all of that were true, how do you explain the movement of the weapons?
Don't worry, I plan to show that you're the culprit behind that too. You had permission to investigate both embassies at will. With that kind of free reign, you could have easily taken the weapons across the... Hey now!
He just grabbed the knife in midair. He couldn't finish his sentence. I couldn't read it, but he just got the whip with his hand.
Look, sis. I thought I already told you I'm not messing around here. This case isn't directly tied to the smuggling ring, but China certainly is tied to the smuggling ring.
He is right in saying that she is a member of the smuggling ring. However, the connection between this case and the ring could it not be deeper than any of us can imagine?
Let's get this ridiculous circus over with already.
Francesca, you need to calm down, because you only know the facts of the Alabastian side of the case. I don't believe you can see the case as a whole and therefore solve it.
What?
But don't worry, I am taking this seriously as well, and I will prove your innocence.
That's the only way to be, Mr. Prosecutor. But can you come up with anything else that can top my hypothesis? Of course, your explanation has to solve the mystery of the moving weapon as well.
Of course, and I will. Let us now delve into the truth behind the murder of the Mask II.
You do understand, don't you, Miles Edgeworth? This isn't just a confrontation against Agent Lang. If you can't figure out how the murder of the Mask II is related to the smuggling ring, then it will mean the end of our investigation.
As long as I have no good counter-argument to this hypothesis, then the best I can do is walk this thin tightrope and see what I can do.
Come on, Mr. Prosecutor. Let's get started.
Yes, let's.
Testimony. Border crossing weapons.
One of Alabast's knife was used in Babal to murder Mr. Cochin, and the murder weapon in the killing of the Mask II is Babal's Premiduc statue. Somehow, these two objects were able to penetrate the two sick countries' impenetrable security. The only ones who traversed the two countries just before and after the crime was you.
Wrong.
So as long as I can't explain how the weapons moved about, Francisca will remain a suspect?
You got it, Mr. Prosecutor. So why don't you just stop giving me a hard time? Under these circumstances, who the heck can carry a weapon across country lines? I've worked through every possibility, but there's only one that's plausible. Your boss!
Agent Lang, what I've learned just from you just now, is that you've lost sight of yourself.
What are you talking about?
By focusing too intently on that which is in front of us, we became blind to the truth. Don't tell me Lang Ji never said anything to that effect.
You're prosecutor. Who do you think you are, speaking about Lang Ji's proverbs like that?
I don't need his proverbs, because my words are all you will need to see the truth.
Rebuttal.
One of Alabast's knife was used in Babal to murder Mr. Cochin.
Hold it!
I concur that this knife crossed over country lines.
Good, that's not the only thing that did. We mustn't forget about the other weapon. The knife was only one. And the murder weapon in the killing in the Mask II is Babal's Premiduc statue.
Hold it!
So you're saying that the Premiduc statue was also brought over by Francisca?
Like I told you before, that's only way it makes...
Sorry, I'm gonna drink.
Like I told you before, that's the only way it makes sense.
Hold it!
And how exactly did she bring it over?
I haven't figured that out yet.
That's a rather weak statement, considering how sure you are.
Maybe, but there is one thing I do know for sure. Somehow, these two objects were able to penetrate the two countries' impenetrable security.
Hold it!
Impenetrable? I should hardly think so.
Not so fast!
You've seen the top of the wall between the two countries, right? Who in the world could cross over that?
Yeah, not even I could climb over that thing with all that barbed wire.
The only way into either embassy is through the doors in the Theatrum Neutralis. So the only way for the knife and the Premiduc statue to traverse the two countries is through those security cameras equipped, well-guarded doors. The only one who traversed the two countries just before and after the crimes was you.
Hold it!
Was Francisca really the only one who have traveled between the two countries?
Sorry.
Was Francisca really the one person to have traveled between the two countries?
According to the guards at the boat door, she's the only one to go back and forth. The sis there was in Alabas when the Actigarasu showed. And then just before you guys found Mr. Cochin's body, she entered the ball. I think we can assume that when she brought the knife into the ball.
Then how do you explain the Primidoc statue?
I haven't quite figured that out yet. However, the fact that the two weapons crossed the border proves that the killer must have also traveled across the country line. Across the country lines.
The only things to cross the border are the Primidoc statue and the knife. I should hardly think that those are the only two items, Agent Lang.
One of Alabas' knives was used in Babal to murder Mr. Cochin.
Hold it!
I concur that these knives crossed over country lines.
Good.
But that's not the only thing that did. Sorry.
That's not the only thing that did. We mustn't forget about the other weapon. The knife was only one.
Oh! Okay, I just, I'm repeating myself, but I just need to find where to present my stuff. The murder weapon is killing the mask is Baba, somehow to reject the only one who travels the only country was you. I'm gonna try something. I'm gonna save. The mask note that proves that the thief also traversed both countries.
Objection!
Now,
Agent Lang, if you could take a look at this piece of evidence, you'd see that there is a very big flaw in your logic.
Flaw? Are you sure it's not your eyes are flawed? Talk to me again when you can see straight.
Maybe this wasn't the piece I was looking for after all.
Alabashan knife discussed the country. The Babal knife. Yeah, the Babal knife was fake, but was swapped with the real one originally from Alabast.
Objection!
No. Counterfeit bill, samurai spear. Samurai dogs, present for Abasasi staff, missile bag took and ate a few for the dressing room. Found at open air stage, rose garden pool, photography at Garasu, fires in Babal, building of wire, found Babal across the 4 o'clock. These two objects were able to penetrate the two countries' impregnable security. Yeah, that would be the fake, the Babal Primidoc statue too.
Objection!
Yeah, that was the thing.
Agent Lang, those two items are not the only two to cross the borders tonight.
Oh,
The Master II was killed with Babal's Primidoc statue, yes? But if that's the case, then tell me, where did Alabast's Primidoc statue go?
Babal!
Precisely. And if the two statues really were switched, then this means that both statues were smuggled across the border at some point. Which means that a total of 3 items were smuggled across the embassies.
I guess so, but you know what? It doesn't matter the number of items, only that the sis here is the only one who could have done it. Because the only person who went back and forth between Alabas and Babel is her.
Is that really true? Was there no one else to travel between the two countries? Actually, there was definitely another person, one who paid a visit to both sides of the wall.
We see picture of the Yatagarasu, which is a picture of the fires.
Is that really so, Agent Lang?
What a lousy time to try and bluff your way out of this. I checked out what the guard said along with the security camera footage. You're not going to overturn my hypothesis that easily.
Objection!
But suppose there was some other way other than through the theater doors?
What other way?
The other entity that managed to cross the border unharmed, if I point it out, it would be open to a whole new possibility. And though I hesitate to bring this out, as long as this entity exists, the impossible road becomes a possibility.
Looks like you've got some clever idea in mind.
I do, and I can show it to you through a single piece of evidence.
Fine then. Let's see this piece of evidence that will show me this other route.
This piece of evidence will show us another way to move between the two countries.
The fountain spouts? No. I want to show a picture of Yatagarasu, but yeah.
Take that!
Oh, that was it.
Agent Lang, I'm sure you are familiar with this unforgettable photo.
That supernatural photo, like I said before. Humans can't fly!
No, of course not. I understand that perfectly well.
And don't start claiming that China somehow grew wings either.
I wouldn't dream of claiming that.
And I won't allow you to take back what you said either. I'll say it again. It's not humanly possible to fly through the air without wings. So you better have a good explanation for this, Mr. Prosecutor.
Hang! But how can I prove who it was that flew through the air in this photo? Wait, not humanly possible? Eureka! Very well, you will have your explanation.
It sounds like you have a good idea simmering inside that head of yours. Let's hear it! The face hidden within this photo's blurring trail shadow is...
Oh! I'm gonna try. It's either the Babal Periodic statue or the Alabas statue. Used to be real, but has been swapped with a fake from Babal. Oh no, this is the one that came from Alabas. It was a fake, but was swapped with the real one. Is originally from Alabas. This was from Alabas. That's actually in Babal. This is the one that was originally from Babal.
Take that!
Naturally, the shadow is the third smuggled object, the Primidux statue replica.
You can't be serious!
The Yatagrasu, or rather, Callisto Yu, dressed as Agent China, was inside Babal. She dressed the replica statue up in clothes and launched it through the air.
Not so fast!
Ha! Mr. Prosecutor! You left out a very crucial bit in your explanation.
I know I did.
She launched it through the air. Ha! And how exactly did she do that?
He is literally bearing his fangs at me.
Grr.
But he has a point. How exactly did it move through the air like that? As long as this remains unsolved, we won't be able to move any closer to the truth. Which reminds me, didn't he say this earlier?
Hey sis, I remember that just before Ambassador Alba went to give his speech, he called you into his office, right?
So just before the murder, Francisca was called here, right into this very room. If that's the case, then that may be another avenue I can pursue. Agent Lang, in order for me to answer that question, I will need to hear testimony from Miss Von Karma.
Oh, what are you up to now, pretty boy?
Earlier you mentioned something of interest to me. You said that just before the murder occurred, Miss Von Karma has been in this room because Ambassador Alba had called for her. And for that reason alone, you believe her to be the killer.
Yeah, I guess I did say something like that.
In that case, I believe it is my duty to ask her what her side of the story is.
Ah! Do you really think a criminal would tell us the honest truth?
How dare you! As I've said numerous times, there is absolutely no proof that I am the killer. Miles Edgeworth, don't tell me you suspect me too!
I don't. However, I can't ignore the fact that you were in this room at one point in time, which is why I would like to hear about your movement in this room. Francesca, I feel that I still don't have enough information, which is why your testimony is incredibly important to the outcome of this case. ...
Long pause. Alright. So, what would you like me to talk about?
I'd like you to please testify to your movement in this room until the murder occurred.
Alright, let's try this your way for a change. But if what she says turns out to be a waste of time, I'll place her under arrest faster than you can now. No.
As you wish.
Testimony from Von Karma, movement in Alabast.
As I said earlier, I was assigned to guard duty in the Alabastian embassy. After I saw the Steel Samurai off on his way towards the ambassador's office, I returned to the Rose Garden for a bit and checked up on the security situation. After all the preparations were in place, I was called back by Ambassador Alba to his office.
Francesca, I want us to make this clear from the very beginning. So that I wish to confirm that the only time span in which you were in this office was before the murder occurred. Is that correct?
Yes, of course.
I see. For now, the only way that I can see for us to break out of this situation is to ask Francesca about her testimony in more detail.
Rebuttal. Movement in Alabast.
As I said earlier, I was assigned to guard duty in the Alabastian embassy.
Hold it!
I thought your duty... Sorry. I thought your duty was to fact-find anything you could about the smuggling ring.
Yeah, that was my job. But upon hearing what the Yatagarasu has sent a calling card to the embassy, Ambassador Alba called upon us to protect the embassies instead. That is ended 7 years ago, or have you forgotten that what happened there back then?
Anything related to that case we were involved in appears to be really rather painful for her. It's not exactly one I can readily forget myself.
It looks like you remember the case after all.
Of course I do.
I inspected every location, every possible escape route, and every aspect of the police security detail. I did all that, and after that, after I saw the Steel Samurai off on his way towards the ambassador's office...
Hold it!
So you were at the theater as well?
Yes, and I suppose you were also there as well, watching that stage show?
Well, yes. So Francesca was there.
Well, after the show was over and I saw the Steel Samurai off, I returned to the Rose Garden for a bit and checked up the security situation.
Why did you need to confirm the degrees of preparation for even the speech?
For security's sake, of course. What other reason could I have had? No one knew just how the Yatagarasu had planned on getting in, right?
Yes, I suppose you're right.
And in the end, the Yatagarasu did chose to appear in the Rose Garden. Even if it did turn out to be nothing more than a shadow, who would have thought that she would use a shadow?
Hey! Calm down, Francisca. She must still be nursing a grudge over the fact that she couldn't figure it out herself.
Anyway, there was no one in the Rose Garden. And we were aware that the speech was set to start soon thereafter. After all the preparations were in place, I was called back by Ambassador Alpha to his office.
At that time, the Master Second's body has yet to be found in this room, is that correct?
That's right. But Ambassador Alba was there. One could hardly miss his rather large presence.
A criminal will say anything to get.
Sorry.
A criminal would say anything to get out of getting arrested. How do we know you're not lying?
Well, if you need proof, I'll be happy to oblige you.
Seriously?
Like I keep telling you. When I arrived at this office, Ambassador Alba was already here. He was standing by the flower box on the windowsill, watering his plants.
Oh, I can attest to that. I remember speaking with the lovely lady around that time here in my office.
Grr. All right then. Add that statement to your testimony and let's hear some details.
So Ambassador Alba was in this room at the time, was he?
When I arrived, Ambassador Alba was watering the flowers on the windowsill.
Hold it!
For the sake of being thorough, I'd like to ask you something. How did you know that Ambassador Alba was watering the plants on the windowsill?
What do you mean by that?
The entrance to this room is on this side, however, the window is on the opposite side. If what you say is true, then when you entered the room, his body would have been like a wall. He would have been blocking your view of what he was doing. Isn't that not correct?
I suppose it was a bit hard to see around him. But fortunately for me, Ambassador Alba is not an immovable wall. Question mark? I knocked before I entered, and as I did, he turned around to greet me, with a watering can in his hand. So it's only natural to believe that he was watering his plants, right?
I suppose.
After his greeting, we spent a little time talking about his flowers. He had obtained them himself and is growing them with the utmost care, you know.
Yes, the plants in this room, they are all like my children.
The passion flowers in the flower box on the windowsill are growing beautifully too. All four of them in full bloom.
Huh? Miss Von Karma, what did you say just now?
I said that the flowers are growing beautifully. What about that statement? Do you not understand?
What do I not understand? I do not understand why a certain thing is the way it is. I'd like for you to append that statement of your testimony.
Very well. There were 4 large passion flowers in full blooms in the flower box. No, there was not, because I had a proof right here that says that they are 2.
Objection!
Francisca, nods. For some odd reason, your testimony contradicts with this piece of evidence.
It does appear that way.
I knew it. I knew we can trust your word, sis.
Mr. Edgeworth! Why are you doing discrediting Miss Von Karma like this?
Yeah, sir! If you keep this up, she's gonna get taken away, sir! And
All I've done is state what I saw. I have made not a single mistake in my testimony. And for this, I am still under suspicion for murder. Is the number of flowers really all that important at this juncture, Miles?
At the very least, it is a contradiction in this enigmatic case. One that I find hard to dismiss as irrelevant.
Let us hear it, Mr. Prosecutor.
What does the
What does the number of flower have to do with anything? What does it prove?
I believe the answer to that will become clear if you were to examine that flower box. How does this contradiction come about? There must be something behind this discrepancy. They're my beloved flowers. I've grown them with the utmost care. So I ask that you please be gentle with them as you examine them, Mr. Edgeworth. I understand.
Walks toward the flower. Yeah, I see. Yeah, the way the flowers are set, there are two holes in the dirt, like they've been yanked off, and I suspect that the air sticks that we found, the reason why they were covered in dirt, were because they were used as tutor for the flowers. Like these two passion flowers, they need a tutor. So not only the flowers were gone, but the tutors as well. I won't rest until I inspect every looking cranny. I'm gonna inspect the ground. This patch of soil looks as though it has something removed from it.
Hey, what are you doing, Mr. Prosecutor? Why do you clam up all of a sudden?
I'm still here, waiting for an explanation, you know.
I'm still here waiting for an explanation, you know.
Did you know, Agent Lang, flowers are best appreciated in silence? Shh. Looks like those two things were pulled out of this flower box. The name of these flowers, I believe they've called passion flowers. Despite being called flowers, they're actually a species of vine. They appear to be growing well. They are well supported by these plant supports.
Yeah, but no matter how I look at it, it looks like there are only two here to me. You realize, don't you, sis? Your little lie has failed you.
Miles Edgeworth, hurry up and shut this man up for me already.
I suppose I will need to use some evidence to shut him up. So I'm
gonna show evidence.
I believe I have just the piece of evidence you require.
Oh, you do you? You have such confidence in the face of your current fly, but I highly doubt it'll last during the end. Until the end.
You howl like a wolf, Agent Lang, but we'll see if you have any bite to back up that bark after you see the evidence. The truth the passion flowers reveal can be seen as this piece of evidence.
Okay. I'm gonna present the air sticks.
Take that!
China was supposedly in Babal the entire time, had these hair sticks on her. That looks exactly like the plant support in this flower box. In other words, I believe it can be said that these hair sticks are in actuality support sticks for the passion flowers.
And so what? Is this really all that important to the case?
Of course it is. It means that we found yet another item that was smuggled between the countries tonight.
Yeah!
Thinking about it logically, Agent Lang, these sticks were originally in Alabasta, but somehow they wound up in China's hands, who was in Babel the whole night. So make no mistakes, these sticks were smuggled somehow, just like the knife and statue.
Very well then. I want to hear from you exactly how they wound up in Babal.
How did these support sticks find their way to Babal and why? There must be some reason that's why they ended up here. Aha, so that's why. Agent Lang, if you would please take a look at this and tell me its shape.
It's just another stick, isn't it?
And so be it. But the shape of the support sticks is what is important.
For when they are used with something in that room, that's when it comes into focus. And the object that completes the picture when used by the support stick is... now we see the weapon, we see the spear, we see the sword has been on display, the crossbow has been on display. Wait. Oh, I see. They've been used for arrows. She used the crossbow to shoot the air sticks away.
That's a crossbow. Wait, you're not suggesting.
I am. These hair sticks, or rather plant support sticks, they make for perfect arrows.
Yeah!
I've done it. I found the common thread that connects the two offices. But this thread has yet to be completely untangled. Even using the arrows, how does this explain how the statue was transported? Furthermore, who could it have been who fired these sticks as arrows? There must be a common thread that ties all of these things together.
Mr. Prosecutor, hold up a second. You do realize what happens when you tie a statue to an arrow, right? They don't fly at all!
Okay, I'm gonna get a little something. I'm getting a bit sleepy, but it's not that late yet. It's only 7. I'm gonna stream for at least another hour, and then I'm gonna call it quits. I'm gonna take a little wake up. I don't use these a lot, but I can doze off during a stream, and I don't want that. There you go. Okay. Border Crossing Part 2. Argument with Agent Lang.
So, Babal statues was draped into that Yatagarasu's clothes and then shot over here. Even if you fired the arrows from this side, they wouldn't go far with a statue tied to them. I don't think I need to tell you that the Primidoc statues didn't sprout wings. You're a realist after all, aren't you?
Okay, I know what happened, but I know how they were moved, but the Primidoc statue didn't sprout wings. Of course they didn't.
Glad you understand. I feel much better already. I was afraid for a second that you were unaware of that crucial fact.
It's only crucial because you're under the belief that wings are necessary for this equation.
What?
You need to free your mind a bit more and let it fly like a bird on the wind. The Primidoc statue flew, but not on a wing. Allow me a bit of your time and I'll explain this mysterious phenomenon to you. Rebuttal. Border Crossing Part 2.
So Babal statue was draped in the Yatagarasu's clothes and then shot over here.
Hold it!
But that incredible scene just happened to have been caught on film, resulting in this photo.
Ha! And what an incredible scene it was. This photo was taken by a freelance photojournalist, right?
Yes, so I hear.
And not every photojournalist is known to be honest, right? Especially not the ones that sell photos of spirit and giant creatures to tabloids! Haha! Reference to the first game.
Yes, I know what you mean. I've seen those photos, those sorts of photos, many a time in court. But there may have been times when those photos have turned out to be telling the truth. If you had ever stood in a court of law, you would know that it's entirely plausible.
Ha! You really believe the stuff you're spewing right now? A courtroom certainly is a strange place if what you say is true. But there really is something odd about that photo. no matter how you look at it. Even if you fired the arrows from this side, they wouldn't go far with a statue tied to them.
Hold it!
But we are in agreement that an arrow by itself would reach the other side, correct?
But just the arrow by itself is pretty meaningless, don't you think, Mr. Prosecutor? Because the things they wanted to smuggle were a lot bigger than nothing.
No, that's not necessarily true.
What?
What I need right now is not further discussion of my conclusion, it's the launching of my conclusion. What the shooter wanted to launch with the crossbow was not the statue themselves, but rather something a crossbow can launch that can be used to move the statues.
Okay. This is the game haunting me that this is where you need to present your evidence. I know which evidence, but you know what? I'm gonna keep rating just for you guys. But after that, I'm gonna present the evidence that goes with that because I know how the statues were moved.
Hold it!
If it wasn't
The thing the crossbow launched, allow me to show you the answer.
Well, come on then, show me what you got! But I warn you, I know when you're just bluffing.
This is what launched from the Alabastion office with a crossbow.
The wire. The wire. A good length of wire was found wound up inside Bubba's grandfather's clock.
Take that!
Twiggling the finger.
Finally, we have reached this point of our discussion. For I present to you that which was carried by the arrow from the crossbow.
Ha! I get it now, Mr. Prosecutor. I can see exactly what you're trying to say. You're saying that the wire was tied to an arrow and then shot into Mr. Cochin's office. All the way from the 5th floor of the Alabastion Embassy down to the 3rd floor of the Babalese Embassy. If what you're claiming is really what happened, I can see how Alabaster Primidoc statue could be moved. Gravity could be used to move the statue from down the wire from the 5th to the 3rd floor. But then what about Babal's Primidoc statue? The dark shadow in this photo clearly flying away from Babal, going in the opposite way of gravity from the 3rd floor of the Babalese Embassy up to the 5th floor of the Alabastion Embassy. How do you explain that?
I think I finally see how the gears behind this whole trick works. Agent Lang, the motion used behind this trick. I wonder if perhaps you have yet to envision how it works in your head?
Motion? What motion?
This is the motion that was employed to smuggle Baba's Primidoc statue.
Rotary motion, swinging motion, or bungee action. Rotary. It's not swinging. I'm gonna say rotary because maybe there was a mechanism.
I believe it was done via rotary motion. If the two statues were transported simultaneously,
Simultaneously, get real. These statues would collide somewhere along the way.
did I ever say that there was only one line of wire between the two offices? If you shot an arrow with the two ends of a wire tied to it, a circular belt can be formed.
Langy says, don't object and call a success what is beyond reasonability.
Okay.
Don't object and call a success what is beyond reasonability. Taking into account the tension difference between the two wires, The top one would sag too much to the point where the statues would collide anyway.
Agent Lang, as you know, the Peridot statue is a one-of-a-kind national treasure. And the fact that Babal's statue is a hollow replica of the real statue, it will naturally be lighter than the real one, meaning that my idea is very possible.
Langji says, Howl!
Self-defense position. Here is what we believe happened. Miss Yu and her mystery co-conspirator set themselves up in the two different rooms. We see a picture of, we see a map, an outside map of the embassy with a blue dot being with a C and a red dot with a K. So C represents Callisto Yu and the K represents the killer. But, or maybe Von Karma, but we're trying to say that it's not Von Karma. But Miss Yu and her mystery co-conspirator set themselves up in the two different rooms. The co-conspirator bridged the rooms by shooting the two ends of the wire down on one arrow. Then the two of them covered the statues. And proceed to transport the statues. After the switch was completed, another arrow was fired, carrying the other end of the wire down to Babal, where it was to be disposed of. And to do that, Miss Yu hid it inside the grandfather clock. QED.
This proves it, right, Agent Lang? That I'm not the killer!
Not yet, sis. I still haven't had my dessert yet. Right, Mr. Prosecutor?
The proof is in the pudding, as it were.
Pudding is a nice dessert. So, do you think you can do it? Can you prove that what you said is what happened? Because remember, if you can't, I'll be taking a certain someone back home with me as a souvenir.
I agree that as long as there is no proof, my hypothesis remains just that. However, what I have laid out is no mere hypothesis, for there is one more piece of evidence.
One more? This should be interesting. You think you have a piece of evidence that will turn your hypothesis into fact? Well then, let's see it, prosecutor!
The thing that made it possible to create a circular belt out of a length of wire, I believe that it is right here in this very room. I believe this is what made the circular belt transportation method possible.
The fan? The ceiling fan. Okay.
Take that!
Ah, looks like you dropped another bomb on us again.
The last piece of the trick are two pulleys.
Precisely. The ceiling fans double as pulleys in this case. And thanks to the fact that there is one installed in each of the offices, the ceiling fans made for the perfect pulley set for the wire to run on. This must be it. This is how the smugglers bypass the impenetrable security.
You really are something else, Mr. Prosecutor. I bet you figured it all out already, or haven't you? You know who the big hotshot that set up this real-life stage show is, don't you?
The person who set up this rather large and complex stage show needs to be someone who has foreknowledge of the existence of a ceiling fan in both the Alabastion and Babalese offices, and that the passion flower support stakes could be used as arrows. The real mastermind behind this case.
Well, don't you dare make this wolf wait for his food.
Why are you so hesitant, Miles Edgeworth? If you can't say who it is, why don't you present something like you always do?
A single point of the finger here, and this case will explode into an international incident. However, it's already too late for me to stop the forward momentum. It appears that I have no choice now but to rush in. There is a piece of evidence that will point us to who the mysterious mastermind is.
I don't know what.
I mean, the only ones who could have done it are Manny Cochin, because he was in on it. Ambassador Polino, because he has foreknowledge of the Corobian embassy building. But did he know about the passion flowers support being able to be used as arrows? I don't recall ever seeing a crossbow on the Bowley side. That's weird. Then there's Ambassador Alba, who was in the room. He fits the bill. I want to say Ambassador Alpha, but I got nothing. What pieces of evidence tie him to the crossbow, the passion flowers, 2 large flowers in bloom? Ambassador Albert takes great care in growing them. I got the Damask II's note, which there's a request to still I don't want to use a trump card. Evidence, the KG incident? No. I can, yeah, I think I can blame Manny Cochin, but there's not a profile. I cannot access the profile. I cannot only access the evidence. So Cochin's body, because I want to blame Cochin. I'm gonna try this, but I'm gonna save again just to be sure.
Take that!
And this is it.
No.
Where's my real dessert? How long do you intend to keep it from me? That piece of evidence isn't satisfying at all.
Then stop being so picky with your food. The person who concocted the trick used to smuggle the statue, I should already have the piece of evidence that show who that is. I just have to present it, no matter what the cost.
Okay. The Yatagrasu.
Take that! Not so bad!
No. Alabaster knife. No. I want to say the Damask II's note.
Take that! Not so bad!
No. The pick? the pick is wet for some reason. But I don't know where the pick comes into play. I'm gonna try it just for giggles.
Not the best.
No. The revolving door? No. They really make us. I'm gonna try the trump card, but if that's the thing, I don't like where this is going at all.
Take that. Not the best.
Phew! That wasn't it. Codopian paper argument. I doubt it's the samurai spear.
Take that. Not the best.
No. At this point, I'm gonna try them all. Doesn't make sense. Good length of war, and the balls. And pussy. The revolving door, signs of.
Take that.
No, not the fate. The alabaster knife.
Take that. Not the best.
No. The other statue. Wait. This is the one that got burned. We tried it.
Take that. Not the best.
No. Counterfeit bill.
Take that.
I'm gonna present the passion flowers.
Take that.
Oh! The smuggling could not have been possible without the use of the crossbow. Furthermore, the arrows that were shot by the crossbow were plucked, as it were, from the flower box in this very room. They were planted so long ago that the passion flowers had the time to grow so big that Miss Von Karma didn't even notice the arrows when she visited this room today. On top of all this, the fact that the culprit knew that both offices had ceiling fans tells us that the person had very detailed information on the embassy's layout. So as you may have already guessed, the person I'm accusing of hatching this plan is the person who grew the flowers in the flower box with the utmost care. Yeah. So it was Ambassador Alba, but there was no like special evidence that points to him directly except the flowers. So that was my only thing. But that doesn't make sense. Like this is the proof that proves this is the evidence that proves who the real killer is. Show us a profile picture, and it would be easier just to give us Ambassador Alba's pictures. But no, it has to be the flowers because this was orchestrated so long, vines had time to grow. Anyway. Points the finger. Thus, it can only be you, Quercus Alba! Exclamation mark. Exclamation mark from Lang. Exclamation mark from Von Karma. Alba ...
Are you out of your mind, Miles Edgeworth?
I'm certain of what I am saying, and I am sure that he's the culprit.
Tell me, Mr. Prosecutor, what was the ambassador trying to accomplish by doing all that stuff you just got outlined? Why in the world would he need to use a trick like that?
I understand your need to doubt me. However, there is one thing that stands out to me as very odd.
Just one thing, huh?
The one single end result Ambassador Alba sought to obtain. If we were to examine the focus of this complex trick, I believe we will finally find the answer to everything. Everything will become clear once we examine this piece of evidence.
The Alabastion statue, right? I think so.
Take that!
I would fully understand the reason had the situation been the reverse. However, to go through the trouble of swapping the real Primidoc statue for the fake, I sense a very shady reason for such a bizarre action. And who better to ask for that reason than King Primidox himself?
I see. Ambassador, we'll be examining that statue now, with it or without your permission.
Alba ... Yeah, there's Manny Cochin's handprint on it, in the bottom, still there.
These are Mr. Cochin's fingerprints. The fact that they're on here suggests that this statue once belonged to Babal.
So it was smuggled from Babal to Alabast, huh?
Why was there a need for them to smuggle it in?
I'm gonna check elsewhere. There's a prompt here.
With his sword drawn like that, there is an aura of valor and bravery around King Primidox.
He looks so cool standing like that with a sword stuck in the ground in front of him. Maybe I should try and come up with some cool pose with a shuriken or something.
I am seriously beginning to think that her real goal in life is to become a ninja.
Hey, Mr. Prosecutor, there isn't anything particularly odd about the sword, right?
No, not really. I suppose we should examine a different area of the statue now.
Gonna turn it around. The shield on his back.
A shield, huh? There doesn't seem to be anything unusual about it.
I bet it's supposed to mean that the guy is protecting something.
I don't think it's supposed to have that deep of a meaning behind it.
In that case, what are we wasting time with this for? Let's look at some other area.
Okay. I'm gonna check the top of the head.
This guy looks like this guy kind of looks like the Steel Samurai, don't you think? Maybe it's because they look alike that he was picked to be the Goodwill Ambassador?
I suppose that's possible. Take a look at this area around the base of his neck. It looks like a gap.
Huh? Hey, you're right. Maybe it's meant to be some kind of secret.
Perhaps it's possible to open the statue from this gap in its construction.
What? Hurry up and open it, Miles!
Alright, here goes.
Wait. His arm just opened, and then we see...
Wow, it really did open up. I'm trying to figure out what it is. It looks like metallic, but square. I think it's... Are those? I'm not good with that sort of thing, but if I'm right, these are the metal plates that it's been used to print the counterfeit bills. Hey, what's this thing that fell out?
I believe a more thorough examination of it is required.
I'm gonna turn the statue around. Okay. I wanna see what's wrong with it. Okay. There on the back of his neck, there was indeed an incision suggesting that the whole thing could be open, and the statue is now open in half. This statue is hollow. It's a replica, and it was meant to hide those plates over here. I'm moving them around. I'm examining the plates right now. What in the... is this?
Hey! Is this what I think it is?
It's a plate for making counterfeit bills. I was right. Somehow, it appears that we've long last arrived at the exit to this complex labyrinth. We finally hold within our hands one of the counterfeit money plates, and the reason why the replica was smuggled into Alabask to begin with. Counterfeit plate data jotted down in my organizer. We see a black and white reconstitution. The Primidoc statue can only be handled by the ambassador or the secretariat. And the replica is nothing more than a hollow shell covered in gold. These two circumstances make the statue the ideal object in which to hide contraband. After receiving the statue containing the counterfeit plates from China, the ambassador had the misfortune of accidentally running into the mask the second. Now we see the mask coming in, and we see Alba holding in the statue, and pretty just hitting him on the back of it, on the head with it. Bonk! Because it's hollow, it's easy to carry. Surprised by the thief, the ambassador raised the replica statue at the mask II, and then, in order to frame the steel samurai of the murder, he covered the samurai sword in blood. Well, Ambassador Alba? He doesn't say a word.
You're the leader of the smuggling ring? My country is a mess, and it's all because of you?
You're the one who killed Umaska II?
Answer us!
I never thought that you would figure things out to this level.
Exclamation part from Edgeworth.
However, there is one point I disagree with you on. The head of the smuggling ring was Mr. Cochin.
Not so fast!
Quit screwing around! Quit screwing around!
He says quiet. It says quiet, but I'm pretty sure it's quit.
Quit screwing around! I have no sympathy for someone who would try to pass the guilt onto a dead man. If there is one thing I'm sure of, it's that you're the real ringleader, Quarkus Alba.
It's not good to speak with such subjectivity, you know, Agent Lang.
Subjectivity? My conclusion is anything but, and it is the result of logic and investigation.
Logic investigation? Only seconds ago, you were all ready to arrest Miss Von Karma. I don't think we can give this much such flip-floppy logic any real weight, do you?
Lang is sweating, he's not sure of himself. Question mark from Alba. Question mark from Edgeworth.
It looks like you still don't get why I came back.
Excuse me?
You see, the reason I came back
Points fingers.
is so that I could sink my fangs into your wrinkly old neck. From the very beginning, and my real target has been you.
What?
Agent Lang, I demand an explanation.
Sorry, sis. I didn't mean to put you through all that. I knew you were innocent from the very beginning.
You did?
I knew that this whole incident has been meticulously planned and prepared for. So naturally, the occupant of this room, Ambassador Alba, seems the most suspicious. But without the ambassador's permission, we couldn't get in to take another look around.
Ah, so that's why you put on this big show to accuse Francesca of the murder. Using Francesca as the bait, you were able to gain entry, investigate rights, and
Yeah, I got my investigative rights. If I haven't done that, I doubt the ambassador would have given the okay to book around.
So that's what all this was about. Very well. I will forgive you. But in exchange for using me as bait, you will take some responsibility and help us find the truth.
Agent Lang, for giving me such a great opening, I thank you.
You know, I just knew, Mr. Prosecutor, that somehow if we were able to find some proof by investigating this room, that you would be able to figure out that the real culprit with your special brand of logic.
The evidence detectives collect combined with the logic of a prosecutor, that's just as it should be in a prosecutor/detective team, right?
I don't know about all that, but one thing I do know is that I'm itching to see that old man gets what's coming to him.
You're quite scary when you know where you want to be, aren't you?
Hey, you were the ones who was planning to use me to push all the guilt onto the sis. But unfortunately for you, you misjudged me.
Agent Lang, I wish for you to stop trying to intimidate me.
He's striking his beard between his two fingers. He's taking one strand of his beard, and he strikes them delicately. Like he doesn't seem like quite worried that he's about to be arrested. Like he's so sure that he's gonna get scot-free from this.
What we need right now is evidence and proof. I wonder if you have what is necessary to prove that I am the head of the smuggling ring.
Objection!
Don't be such a sore loser! If you already are the head of the smuggling ring, then you should acknowledge your crimes with dignity.
Dignity? That is nothing more than a fool's insincere display of strength. If you really wish for me to acknowledge my crimes, then I would like to first see some of this thing you call evidence.
Grr.
I tell you, I knew nothing really. I didn't even know that a counterfeit plate was hidden inside that statue.
Objection!
You swapped a real statue that vested in your country the authority to rule for a fake. It doesn't make any sense that you didn't know anything. It doesn't make any sense. When doesn't it make sense? Can you prove that it doesn't make sense?
He's really got us. He's turned the entire situation around against us.
The proof that Interpol has been after this points to this man as the real ringleader. If we can somehow find that proof now, then we can see to it that justice is finally served. Is there nothing I can use to break this case wide open?
Flashback from inside Edgeworth's office when the Diatigarasu #AgentBad set him up at point blank in the dark in Edgeworth's office. Question mark. Integration mark. The Diatigarasu.
The trump card and the videotape. With those two items, we might be able to finally bring this man down. But the card is evidence from a case that Mr. Faraday hid away in secret. And the tape was stolen by Detective Bad from the police. They're both illegal evidence. No matter what, a protector of the law can't be allowed to use such pieces of evidence.
Flashback from Manfred von Karma. Needless to say, we von Karmas are commanded to achieve nothing but victory, and by any means necessary. Bad. The only way to bring someone like that to justice was to do so outside of the court. That's what we thought at the time.
I no longer follow the path of Manfred von Karma. And I won't follow the path of the Yatagarasu. This leaves me with what? What creed will I believe in? If I want to pursue the truth, then I will sully my hands in illegality. And if I want to pursue justice, then I will lose the truth. What is the law? And what is justice? And which path is a prosecutor supposed to follow? That choice is one I must make by my own hand, here and now.
Use the trump card or don't use the trump card. I'm gonna save. And I believe this is one of the paths that will take me from the bad ending and the true ending. If I use the trump card now and get him, I won't get the end of it. And like, okay, I'm not gonna use the trump card. Do not use the trump card. I'm gonna make a different save so that I can come back to it later. Do not use the trump card.
I am a prosecutor, and I can't allow myself to use evidence such as these.
Mr. Edgeworth, if you don't do something, Ambassador Alba is going to get away with it.
Yeah, I know, but...
Objection!
What are you holding back for? The only thing a Von Karma should pursue is the perfect proof. If you really do have what it takes to complete our argument, there is absolutely no reason not to use it.
Yeah.
Lang Ji says the reason people judge people is because people are people. People weren't born to be chained to the law. Laws were born to protect the people. You're the only one here right now that you can put this guy out to pasture. And that is the only way a second or third generation of Zheng Fa's people will be born. Can you really still hesitate, knowing that the fate of a nation rests in your hands?
There is no limit to the law. Any limit that exists was set there by man. When a person goes beyond that limit, then the law too crosses into new territory. For what reason were laws invented? The answer to that is what I must now show. Ambassador Alba, I wonder if you might recognize this.
He's showing him the card. He's doing it. He's showing him the card.
Oh, I wonder what that card is. I've never seen that before in my life. It's a directives card used by the leader of the ring to relay instruction to his subordinates. Oh, is that what it is? This card was sent to the real culprit behind the KG8 incident 10 years ago, a man by the name of Mr. Manny Cochin. Oh, so why do you have such a card in your possession? Because it was a hand delivered to me by a certain great thief, the Yatagarasu. The Yatagarasu gave that to you? Don't talk nonsense! Let's be serious, Mr. Edgeworth. Do you have any proof that the card contains direction to the Nine Ringleader? I'll have you know that the card is not the only thing I was given. What? What's this?
He's showing the tape too. This contains security footage that was shot just before the start of the KG8 incident.
The KG8 incident.
The card and the video. These two pieces of evidence are what will seal your fate.
Oh, very interesting. I must admit I am very curious now. Very curious indeed. In these case deciding pieces of evidence you presented. The prey, the Edgeworth who has been chasing all this time, now stands before me. I can't allow this man, who has had free reign for 10 long years, to simply walk away. Now is the time for me to bring to fruition the valiant spirit that was given to me.
March 15, 1:34 a.m. Theatrum Neutralis lobby.
So what is this interesting thing you wanted to show me?
The trump card and the videotape. These two pieces of evidence make for the ultimate hand. And this is where the real meaning behind Detective Bad's work will be realized. Detective Gumshoe!
Yes, sir!
Showing him the tape. What you see here is security footage just shot before the KG8 murder occurred. From this footage, we know that the card is a directives card from the smuggling ring. This is the section that proves that the card was used to relay an order. I'm gonna point to the knife. I think so.
Take that!
Take a look at this area. What about that area? My eyes aren't what they used to be, so I can't really see what you're pointing at too well. But from what I can see, it doesn't look like it's related to our conversation.
Maybe it's not the knife. Okay, it's the card. It's unrelated. I need to remain calm and take another look at this footage. What is the vital clue that shows us that the card was used to relay an order? Okay. The card itself.
Take that!
No? Okay, I'm gonna point. I won't point at the end, I'm gonna point at the blade of the knife.
Take that!
No? The parking?
Take that!
No. This is the section that proves that the card was used to relay an order.
Take that!
I'm gonna point at Mini Cochin.
Take that!
Stupid face. I'm gonna check the card.
Take that!
Present the card. As you I did it before, it didn't work. Now it works. As you can see, Mr. Cochin is holding the card in his right hand.
I see! The killer is indeed holding a card with the exact same design on it. But that card and the one you have, just because they look the same doesn't mean that they are, does it now?
But there is a very easy way to prove that they are in fact one and the same. All we have to do is simply take a look at this. I'm gonna turn the card. I'm gonna examine the card. A section of the text has been obscured by blood, but it's clear the writing is Codopian. According to Detective Bad, silence CCU is what is written here, along with the method to be used and where she lived. The evil intent displayed in this writing will not go unpunished. There's blood on the side. This dark red blood, here, this is your proof. Proof that the orders on this card were played out in that terrible tragedy.
The blood belonged to the victim of the KG-8 incident. With a bit of a DNA testing, we can very easily verify that as fact.
Alba ...
If you have no objections, then I'd like for you to take a look at this next piece of footage. This car has passed by in front of the victim's apartment building. It's an official Codopian government car. What? Detective Gumshoe, if you could please magnify the footage. Okay. This area of the footage directly links the smuggling ring with Codopia. Now we see inside, but we cannot see the face. But there is a flower somewhere. That's the flower with the butterfly on it. That's the symbol of the Principality of Codopia. I'm gonna get that. This section will make it all clear to us. You must be very tired, Mr. Edgeworth. If you continue presenting completely irrelevant.
Ah, wait. We see the card in his pocket. Oh, okay.
I'm afraid your investigation may fall apart. Perhaps it's time for you to retire. Wait! Alright.
I was so sure it was this area.
Alright, focus, Miles. The area I should be pointing out is definitely here.
Okay, I'm gonna say
this area of the footage directly links with the smuggling ring with Codopia.
the calling card is in his back pocket, but because it's the same color as the suit, I could barely see it.
Take that!
The shape of his pockets and the directives cards in it, it tells us that without a doubt this person in this card is Mr. Cochin. The license plate on the car was also captured by the security camera, and with it we can easily find out who was sitting in this car on that day 10 years ago. Which is why I can say with confidence that you were riding in this car on that day.
Dot.
Ha! Ha 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 ha.
Okay, now he transformed a bit. Because right now he was like wrinkly old, but he broke his walking stick and now he's standing tall.
You've done well, boy, to make this far. However, about your claim that I was riding in the car at the time, that's going to be mighty difficult to prove.
How so?
The Principality of Codopia no longer exists. So naturally, all records from that time period also no longer exist.
That arrogance. Why he really means is he's already erased all traces of them.
I like that song. Such majesty. This is why I'm giving him that voice. This is the voice of a final boss.
Are we finished here, boy?
Now he's shining his medals. Look at his medals, all shining and glimmering in the light.
Hey, look at my bling. Bask in its light.
The only weapon I have left to me now is this piece of footage. There must be something here that I can use against him.
I'm gonna try the first thing I tried before.
Take that!
The little flower.
What the? Ambassador Alba!
Yes. What is it?
You were once an army man in the service of Codopia.
Oh, I see. What I was pointing was a symbol of Codopia, but I just realized that's one of his medals. And the fact that he just transformed and show his chest, he's showing up his military uniform because he used to be former military. He's a retired general, but now we see all his medals, and one of his medals is appeared in the footage. We cannot see anything else because it's in the shadows, but we see the metal as bright as day because it's so glimmering so much. So Alba is next to Madikochan. He was in the car. He was really in the car. You were once an army man in the service of Codopia. And it was you who made the many missions you participated in successes, correct? Huh. Why the sudden backhanded praises, boy? Although, to be sure, the brilliant medal on my breast were awarded to me during the era of Codopia. But now, I am the only one who owns this particular medal. In that case, the only person it could be who is sitting in his car is you. How do you figure that? By the medal capture here in this footage. It is clearly the exact same medal as the one on your chest. What? This is how it will be, but I won't look back. For this is the path that I have chosen. You've moved me with your devotion to this case, Mr. Edgeworth. Why is he taking such an arrogant stance with me? It's almost looking possible, isn't it? Now he's striking his beard. For the lot of you to have come this far, it looks like I just might lose our little game this time.
You might lose the game. This time, you'll get another round, Mr. Ambassador.
Is that a fact? Very well. I've decided to confess and admit my guilt.
You're going to confess?
And I will accept whatever punishment that may come as a result.
What the?
Regarding the Damascus second murder, I admit it. I did it out of self-defense. You're claiming it was justified self-defense? Damascus II attacked me, and I felt like my life was in danger. If I hadn't done what I did, I might be the one who found dead instead of him.
What a pathetic performance.
I'm not giving you one.
Wow, you two really know how to laugh at inappropriate times.
If you wish to claim it was justified self-defense, then we will need some evidence. It's always the evidence with you, isn't it? But if that's what you required, I'll provide it. That man left a mark on me when he attacked. What? I don't particularly want to show it off, but this is proof that it was in self-defense. Now he's unbuttoning his military outfit, and we show bandages inside around his neck area, and where the shoulder blade will be, not the shoulder blade, the clavicle, the elbow, the bone that connects the elbow to the collarbone. I'm an old man, and sometimes I don't pay enough attention when I should. So we see small blood coming from the collarbone.
But the mask the second didn't have a single weapon on his body.
And now he's making a salute. Not a military salute, not a Hitler salute, but more like a priest. Like he's blessing the crowd. But instead of doing using the blade of his hand, he's using the flat of his hand to do this salute. That's the kind of salute he's doing. Hold on, it's nothing to get worked up over, because I hid the weapon.
You hid it?
I'm sorry, but as you know, a murder is a murder, even if it's in self-defense. And I couldn't let it become public, seeing as how I am an ambassador. This is the weapon you seek, my special bonsai trimming shears. And then he presents it. He got stabbed with his own shears. There's blood on his shears. Okay. Oh, it's covered in blood. He was trembling quite badly during our struggle, but that's when he grabbed the shears that were sitting by my office and attacked. So you see, it was an act of self-defense. Is he right, Mr. Edgeworth?
Since he has both the wound and the weapon that caused it, it's enough to declare it so.
Ambassador Alba's wound data jotted down in my organizer. No way! Oh, which reminds me, I guess there is still one more accusation I need to resolve. Smuggling and counterfeiting. Unfortunately, all of that is in my secretary's doing. All of that is my secretary's doing. I have no knowledge in what's going on.
Stop spewing nonsense. You're trying to throw my investigation under the bus in your desperation. If you want to get really honest, everything in this case can be connected to you.
The murder of the Master Second was done in self-defense? In my trials, no man escapes his crimes alive.
Perhaps so, if you were my opponent in court. However, there is one very important fact that I think you may have forgotten.
And why is that?
Edgeworth ... He just remembered, he was thinking that I just struck him. And I believe so. I think I know what he meant. I think I know what Edgeworth is thinking about. He cannot be prosecuted by America for the murder of the Master II because it was made in Alabashan soil. And since he's an ambassador, he can be judged and arrested, court and trial by Alabashan's law in an Alabashan's court. And since he's an ambassador, he's got some immunity as well.
That's what you mean. Extraterritoriality.
That's right. This embassy sits on what is effectively Alabashan soil. So any trial that is to be held will be held in Alabasta. Therefore, the crime I just admitted to will never be tried in your courts.
Agent Lang, what is Interpol's stance on this?
Agents investigate, that's our jobs. The judgments of people who have confessed to their crimes, that's the court's job.
Gah!
And I've already confessed to all of my crimes, Agent Lang. Furthermore, by the very nature of my position, I have full extraterritorial rights. These rights are effective even on your country's soil. Therefore, no matter where a crime may take place, I will never stand trial in one of your courts.
That arrogance in your expression, that's nothing like the face of someone who is ready to accept the consequences. Don't tell me you have your own country's judicial systems eating right in your hands. Out of your hands.
These crimes you all speak so seriously of. To me, this has all been nothing more than a game. You may chase me out of this embassy with your accusation, but it's no big deal. Alabasta has numerous other embassies in other countries around the world. All you would accomplish is you would change the backdrop of our little game.
These two layers of protection that extraterritoriality provides him, this is why he's one of those who cannot be brought to court.
You see now, do you? I live in a whole different world than you. Now, if you excuse me, I need to go and fetch your eviction papers. Goodbye. And then he leaves with his guard.
Is there nothing we can do?
To be continued.
Oh, this is a perfect spot to stop the stream.
Oh my god. Oh my god, it's so hard. It's so tiring. Oh, I'm tired now. Do you want to save? Yes, I'm gonna save.